Counting cards and basic strategy in blackjack can give you an advantage over the casino. The casinos do their best to remove this advantage by introducing more decks of cards into the game. But what about roulette? Is it possible to identify a pattern, increase your odds, and win at roulette consistently? The answer is yes. Now, if you are a card counter in blackjack, you would only ever play when the deck is hot, and this means that the true count is high. In roulette, the exact same thing applies. You should only ever play when the dealer is showing consistency. But what do we mean by consistency? Well, there are three variables in a roulette spin: the speed of the wheel, the speed of the ball, and the area of the table that the ball is spun from. Now, if the dealer is doing these three things consistently, there is a good chance that they will have a dealer's signature. Now, most people make the mistake of looking for patterns with outside bets. Now, outside bets are reds, blacks, odds, evens, highs, lows, and dozens. The casinos want you to place bets in these areas, as the dealer's signature will not give you any advantage with these types of bets. The numbers on an even bet are spaced around the roulette wheel, which means that the results will be random, and that plays into the casino's house edge of 2.7%. Now, a dealer's signature means that the majority of the spins will land on a certain area of the wheel. The area will rarely change, however the results will, because the dealer spins the ball from the previous result each time. As you can see here, the dealer spins the ball from the same area of the table on every spin, and the ball lands in this area of the wheel every time with different results. So how do you decrypt this consistency so that you can accurately determine where the ball is going to land? The answer is fairly simple. You measure the distance from the result that the dealer spins the ball from to the new result where the ball just landed. You then repeat this process over several spins, and if the measurements are consistent, this means that the dealer exhibits a signature that you can take advantage of. We developed a collection of tools that will instantly calculate these measurements and show you the optimal betting areas. I mentioned earlier that a dealer's signature will not benefit you when making even bets. Now let me explain what we mean. We tracked this dealer and could see that he was favouring this half of the roulette wheel, so we decided to place a $38 bet covering half the wheel. This is easily achieved by placing a neighbour's bet of 9 numbers that will cover the dealer's previous results that are shown in the graph. As you can see, we got the win and decided to double the bet, as we can still cover all of his previous 10 results. You may have also noticed that his last 10 results were also black. However, we understand that a dealer's signature will not determine if the result will be red or black, as they alternate around the roulette wheel. What we can focus on is the area of the wheel that the dealer is favouring, which resulted in another win, which happened to be red. We decided to double the bet once again, as this dealer was being very consistent. This roulette strategy is called the Paroli betting system, otherwise known as the reverse martingale system, which is a positive progression. When using this system, our goal is to get a 4-win streak, which means that we maximise on profits with a reduced risk. That's 3 wins out of 4, but we did cut this session short because we noticed the dealer making eye contact, which usually means that there is about to be a dealer change which can affect their spin pattern. You can see him make eye contact followed by a nod of the head. It is a good idea to stop betting whenever you see this happen. As you can see, it was a dealer change, which means that the collected data is now irrelevant, so you can either decide to track a new dealer or call it a day. In this comprehensive roulette video course, I will take you from a complete beginner to a highly skilled roulette player. I've been tracking dealers and winning at roulette consistently for over 9 years. In this course, I will demonstrate effective techniques that will help you identify and exploit consistent dealers at the roulette table. You see, finding consistent dealers is crucial in gaining an advantage in this particular casino game. These dealers tend to have specific patterns or habits when spinning both the ball and the wheel, which can be exploited to your advantage. Throughout this course, I will teach you how to observe and analyse their actions, allowing you to make more informed bets. By understanding these patterns, you can significantly increase your chances of uncovering dealer signatures and winning at roulette consistently. With step-by-step guidance and practical examples, I'll provide you with the tools needed to become a master at the roulette table. Now, please keep in mind that the strategies that I teach in this course utilize the tools from roulettecalculators.com. Hello and welcome to my comprehensive video course on mastering roulette. My name is Ed Clark and I am the creator of roulettecalculators.com. Throughout this course, I'm going to equip you with essential knowledge and techniques that will enhance your winning chances in roulette. Firstly, we're going to delve into the 4 crucial variables that significantly impact the outcome of your gameplay. You see, understanding these variables is paramount in strategically placing your bets and maximizing your potential wins. Moreover, I will guide you through the intricate process of analyzing roulette dealers. By carefully observing their patterns and consistency, you'll be able to identify whether or not a dealer possesses a consistent style of spinning both the wheel and the ball, and if they exhibit any tendencies that we can then exploit. One of the most powerful lessons that we're going to learn in this course is identifying a dealer's signature. You see, by recognizing unique traits in their spins, such as the speed, the ball placement, and where the dealer releases the ball from, you can gain an unprecedented advantage over other players and increase your odds of success. Throughout each module, I will provide detailed explanations and practical examples to ensure that you grasp each concept effectively. With precision and attention to detail, you'll be able to acquire the skills needed to conquer this exhilarating casino game. This comprehensive course is specifically tailored to transform complete beginners into skillful roulette players. With a structured approach, each lesson builds upon the previous one, allowing you to progress seamlessly toward mastery at the roulette table. By following these lessons in order, you will gain a solid foundation and acquire essential knowledge step by step. I really look forward to working with you on this course and helping you make educated bets. Many aspiring gamblers turn to various roulette strategies in hopes of beating the odds, only to find themselves disappointed. You see, the truth is most of these strategies simply do not work. They're often based on misconceptions about how the game operates, or they rely on flawed logic. However, one effective approach to enhance your chances of winning at roulette is by utilizing the tools that are provided on roulettecalculators.com. You see, unlike traditional strategies that advocate for specific betting patterns or a sequence of numbers, by using roulette calculators, it enables players to make educated bets based on real data. These calculators allow you to track the spin history of dealers. This gives you insight into their patterns and their tendencies, and by analysing this information, you can identify any biases or quirks that might impact the outcome, and then you can adjust your betting accordingly. The systems within roulette calculators are particularly useful because it takes into account more than just previous spin results. We also consider a wide range of factors such as a dealer's consistency. With this comprehensive analysis at your disposal, you are much better equipped to anticipate probable outcomes, and then you can adjust your betting strategy accordingly. Furthermore, using the tools on roulettecalculators.com provides an advantage over traditional strategies because it focuses on objective data rather than just relying on gut feelings or superstition. This means that decisions are made based on evidence and logic rather than emotional impulses and unfounded beliefs. While most roulette strategies do fail to deliver consistent results, incorporating data-driven tools like the ones offered on roulettecalculators.com, can significantly increase your chances of winning. By tracking a dealer's spin history and utilizing accurate calculations based on objective factors, you are empowered to make well-informed bets that have a much higher probability of success. When it comes to playing roulette, it is important to manage your expectations. Instead of aiming to become an overnight millionaire, my approach focuses on a slow and steady method that can generate long-term income. While roulette calculators do provide useful tools by displaying the dealer's spin history, it is ultimately up to the user how they wish to use this information. By adopting a patient and strategic mindset, players can make informed decisions based on the previous spins, contributing to their overall success in the game. It is crucial to understand that utilizing these calculators does not guarantee immediate success or profitability. Rather, they serve as guides for the users to formulate their own strategies and make their own calculated bets. To maximize potential profits whilst minimizing losses, it is advisable to establish clear betting limits and stick to them. By doing so, players can ensure a more disciplined approach and avoid impulsive decision-making during their gameplay. Furthermore, maintaining a comprehensive record of the results can offer you valuable insights and trends and patterns emerging within the game. This data can help refine strategies over time and enhance chances of sustained profits. In essence, the key lies in adopting a measured approach when using roulette calculators. By recognizing their limitations as tools that provide historical information rather than offering foolproof winning strategies, players can implement them as part of a balanced approach aimed at generating consistent, long-term income rather than chasing an unrealistic overnight wealth. Okay, so you're asking yourself why I would share these roulette tools and strategies that will undoubtedly elevate your game. By utilizing these resources, not only will you enhance your playing skills, but you will also become part of a thriving community that fosters idea sharing and innovation. You see, when more individuals use these tools and strategies, we can collectively generate a myriad of fresh ideas. This collaborative effort allows us to continually evolve our tools on our exclusive private Roulette social network, ensuring that they remain cutting edge and highly effective. Just imagine the possibilities as countless players contribute their unique insights and suggestions to further refine these tools. Through the power of collaboration, we can revolutionize the way that roulette is played while maximizing our chances of success. In this lesson, we're going to explore the intricate mechanics of roulette. We're going to delve into how a roulette dealer determines their rotation speed and also the spin direction. And we're going to be discussing both single and multi-directional spinning in this lesson. The rotation speed of a roulette wheel is primarily influenced by two key factors. Firstly, the strength applied by the dealer while giving the wheel an initial push dictates its velocity. Secondly, the speed in which the dealer spins the ball. This causes friction between the ball and the numbered pockets when they come into contact, and this drastically affects its deflection and also the deceleration rate, ultimately determining the results. On a single spin direction roulette table, the dealer rotates the wheel consistently in one direction only. The wheel is either going to be spinning clockwise or counterclockwise throughout the entire session. The ball will then be spun in the opposite direction of the wheel. In contrast to a single direction game, some roulette tables employ multi-directional spinning, and this is meant to give the game an extra level of randomization. The dealer will alternate the spin direction from clockwise to counterclockwise after each spin. Just like on a single spin direction table, the ball will then be spun in the opposite direction to what the wheel is spinning. The roulette wheel is composed of two integral parts, the stationary base and the numbered rotor wheel. While the base remains immobile, the wheel has the ability to spin about its central axis. The base is typically made of wood or plastic and is designed to never move during gameplay. Understanding this is crucial when we talk about the dealer's release point. For a moment, I would like you to completely forget about the rotating wheel, and we're just going to focus on the base and the ball track. You see, when a dealer spins the ball around the ball track, you will notice that they typically release the ball from the exact same section of the base each time based on the current spin direction. For example, when a dealer spins the ball clockwise, they will typically release the ball from the same section of the base each time. However, the section will most likely be different when they spin the ball counterclockwise. We will discuss this in a lot more detail on the upcoming modules, analysing a dealer and identifying a consistent dealer. In the world of roulette, even the smallest details can significantly impact the outcome. One crucial factor is where the roulette dealer releases the ball from after each spin. Now, it's widely accepted that the ball should always be released in line with or within a few pockets of the previous result. For instance, if number 17 was the last result, professional dealers aim to release the ball close to this number on their next spin. Typically, the dealer will spin the ball from the area it last landed. For example, if the last number was 19, the dealer will pick up the ball and spin it from number 19 or within one or two pockets of that number. Now, this is exactly what we're looking for. Now, this practice holds great importance for several reasons. Firstly, by aligning the release of the ball with the previous result, it adds consistency to gameplay, and it also maintains a fair playing field for all participants at the table. It helps prevent any intentional biases that might arise due to deliberate manipulation by the dealer for aiming at a specific area of the wheel. However, it is crucial to note that these guidelines surrounding ball release are not strict rules, but rather common practices followed by professional dealers. Ultimately, while there may be debates regarding various strategies and techniques employed in roulette, aligning ball release with the previous outcome remains a generally accepted best practice among experienced dealers worldwide. By adhering to this principle, players can enjoy a more consistent gameplay experience while ensuring fairness and integrity in every spin of the wheel. The diamonds on a roulette wheel are not your typical sparkling gemstones. They serve a crucial purpose in the game, designed in the casino's favour. Strategically placed at intervals between each number, these small metal dividers provide just enough space for the ball to bounce and settle into a numbered pocket. This design has been employed to offer an unpredictable outcome with every spin. However, when you find a dealer with consistency, you will discover more often than not the ball will hit the same diamond every time, which can result in a dealer's signature. In this lesson, we will delve into the crucial task of analysing the dealer's level of consistency in a roulette game. This process will be divided into 3 stages, enabling us to comprehensively evaluate their performance. First and foremost, we will focus on the dealer's ball and roulette wheel rotation speed, as this factor can greatly impact the outcome. Secondly, we will scrutinise where exactly the dealer releases the ball from in relation to the base of the roulette wheel. This careful examination will shed light on any potential patterns or deviations that could also influence the results. In the final stage, we will assess whether or not the dealer consistently releases the ball in line with their previous results. This analysis is key for identifying the dealer's consistency. By gaining an understanding of each of these various aspects, we can confidently utilize the tracking tools on roulette calculators to predict future results whilst playing roulette accurately and effectively. To effectively evaluate the speed at which the dealer spins the ball and the roulette wheel, we need to keenly observe their actions rather than relying on scientific measurements. Through our observation, we can quickly identify any variations in the force applied by the dealer. In instances where the speed fluctuates, it becomes evident that the dealer lacks consistency. Please keep in mind that it is perfectly normal for the dealer to vary the speeds on alternating spin directions. For example, the current speed we are about to watch, the ball will be going counterclockwise and the wheel will be going clockwise. On her next spin, the ball will be going clockwise and the wheel counterclockwise. It is perfectly acceptable for the different directions to fluctuate in speed, as each spin direction requires a different hand placement on the base of the roulette table, which in turn changes the dealer's technique. What we are looking for is consistency in speed based on the individual spin directions. If the dealer consistently spins both the ball and the wheel without any noticeable variations, it suggests that the dealer's rotation speed is consistent. Conversely, if their releases are erratic or frequently change in speed, this means that the dealer's rotation speed is inconsistent and you should not waste any more time with this dealer. In this lesson, we will analyse the hand placement of a roulette dealer as they spin the ball. By keenly observing where their hand is positioned on the base of the roulette wheel, we can gain valuable insights into their technique and consistency. It's important to know that their hand placement will vary depending on the direction in which the dealer spins the ball. Our ultimate goal is to identify a consistent hand placement pattern that corresponds to each specific spin direction. As you can see here, the dealer spins the wheel counterclockwise and is about to spin the ball clockwise. I take note where her hand is positioned in relation to the base of the roulette wheel, and I use this as a reference point for observing her future spins in the clockwise direction. For your reference, I have overlaid a green arrow showing her hand placement for spins in this direction. If you are playing on a multi-direction table like I am, we need to create a reference point for her counterclockwise spins also. I typically use the metallic diamonds for creating reference points during my gameplay. Here you can see where the dealer's release point is when she spins the ball counterclockwise. Again, I have overlaid a green arrow for your reference. Now we have her release points, we need to check her consistency by observing multiple spins, making sure that she is systematically releasing the ball from the same areas each time. Her next spin will be another clockwise spin, so we will be using the arrow on the left-hand side for comparison. As you can see, she released the ball from the correct area. This is what we want to see when analysing dealers. Let's take a look at a few more spins to check for consistency. As you can see, this dealer is showing us that she has consistency in where she releases the ball from. In the next lesson, we will analyse the same dealer to see if she has consistency in releasing the ball in line with the previous result. Once you have found a dealer who is consistently spinning both the ball and the roulette wheel at a consistent speed, as well as consistently choosing a specific spot to release the ball from, there is one final crucial step. This last piece of the puzzle involves ensuring that they release the ball in a consistent manner in relation to the rotation of the roulette wheel. Now, as we discussed in a previous lesson, we know that most dealers are supposed to release the ball in line with their previous result. In this case, the dealer's previous result was number 3. We already know this dealer's release point from the previous lesson, which is still marked with the green arrow. If we then draw a line from her release point to the numbers on the wheel, we can see if her release point is in line with her previous result, number 3. And as you can see, it is. You may find some dealers release the ball several numbers before or after the previous result, which is okay as long as they do this consistently. But for the most part, professional dealers will always release the ball in line with the last result. Let's take a look at her clockwise spin to see if she is consistent in both directions by releasing the ball from the latest result, which is number 21. As you can see, this dealer is consistent when releasing the ball in line with the previous results in both directions. You may find some dealers who are only consistent in one direction, which is okay. Just be mindful and only place bets from their consistent spin direction. Once you have found a dealer who is spinning the ball in line with the last result, you can then measure the distance from where they spin the ball from to where the ball lands by using the tools on roulette calculators. You will then be able to see if that dealer holds a dealer's signature that you can then take advantage of. Now, it's important to understand that not every consistent dealer holds a signature, which is why we use the tools on roulette calculators to give us a visual aid by showing us the predicted future results based on real historical data. In the last module, we gained valuable knowledge on how to spot a consistent dealer when playing roulette. A crucial observation was that most dealers have a tendency to release the ball in alignment with the previous result. Now, this means that we can measure the distance from where the dealer spins the ball from to where the ball ultimately lands. Now, the tools on roulette calculators adjust its predictions based on historical data and where the ball is going to be spun from next. Now, to better explain exactly what a dealer's signature is, would be to have someone who is very consistent with their spins to spin the ball from the exact same area of the roulette wheel base and then release the ball in line with the same number on each spin. Now, if the results group together on the wheel, this then proves that that dealer has a signature. In this video, the dealer always releases the ball in line with number 6 and marks out each of his results with a small playing card. Now, in the real world, a dealer does not release the ball from the same number each time, but as we have learned, the dealer does typically release the ball in line with their latest result, which means by keeping track of all the historical data, including their measurements, we can accurately determine where the next results are most likely to land, which is what we're going to cover in the next module. In the last lesson, we witnessed an insightful video showcasing a dealer's signature in action. It's important to delve deeper into this video to gain a comprehensive understanding of how our tracking tools operate in the real world. As previously mentioned, most dealers have a consistent hand placement on the base of the roulette wheel when making their spins. Now, if it's a multi-direction table, there will be two hand placements, one for clockwise spins and one for counterclockwise spins. In this particular example, it is a single direction table and the dealer's hand placement has been highlighted green. The second factor is the dealer releases the ball in line with their previous result. However, this dealer is releasing the ball in line with number 6 on each spin so that he can illustrate a dealer's signature. I can replicate this by using the Dealer Tracker multi-direction tool and inputting number 6 as a result every other spin. This will mean that the tracker believes that the dealer is spinning the ball in line with number 6 each time. We begin by entering in number 6, as this will be in line from where the dealer releases the ball from. I input the dealer's result, which is number 22, which is 18 numbers clockwise from number 6. I will enter in number 6 again, as I know this is where the dealer is going to spin the ball from again on the next spin. As you can see, the calculator has highlighted 22. This was the result from the previous dealer's spin. As you can see, the dealer's next result was 100% accurate as it landed on number 22 again. So I will input the number 22 into the calculator again. I will also input number 6 again, as I know this is where the dealer spins the ball from in this example. You can see that the tracker is showing us that the pocket 22 has now been landed on 2 times. The dealer spins the ball again in line with number 6, and his result this time is number 14, which is 15 numbers clockwise from where he released the ball from again, which was in line with number 6. So I input the result number 14 into the tracker and submit number 6 once again, as I know this is where the dealer is spinning the ball from each time. You can see that the tracker is accurately displaying his previous results based on the premise that he releases the ball in line with number 6 each time. Let's quickly submit all of his results from this session so that you can observe how the dealer tracker calculates its measurements. As you can see from the insights that our tracker is showing us, if a dealer is releasing the ball in line with number 6, he has a very obvious signature between numbers 1 and 22. Now, he did have one result that went past the area to number 35, and through my observation, I can see that he fumbled slightly on that particular spin. Notice how he hesitated as he released the ball. This is why finding consistent dealers is crucial when placing bets. Even with that slight hesitation, we would have still got the win, as our neighbour bets would have covered that area, but it's important to notice those slight deviations if you're serious about long-term success. As mentioned before, a dealer does not spin the ball in line with the same number each time. This video was intended to break down the mechanics of the dealer tracker so that you fully understand how the measurements are calculated. A normal dealer will typically spin the ball in line with their previous results, which we will break down on the next lesson. In the last lesson, we showed you how the dealer tracker can show you a dealer's signature if the dealer releases the ball in line with the same number each time. However, in the real world, this isn't the case. You see, in the real world, the number that the dealer releases the ball from changes every spin. So how does it work, and how does the dealer tracker decrypt this information? Well, as we discussed before, the dealer always releases the ball from a consistent place on the base of the roulette wheel. We also know that a good dealer always releases the ball in line with their previous result. So all a dealer tracker has to do is measure the distance from the previous result to the new result and then keep all of that information in its memory. You see, by doing this, the dealer tracker will show you the exact locations that the dealer has hit in their previous results based on the new location that they're about to spin the ball from. Let's take a look at the dealer tracker one direction so that I can fully illustrate exactly how the measurements are calculated. Okay, so here is the dealer tracker one direction. Now let's just suppose that the starting number was number 32. So this is going to be the number that the dealer is going to spin the ball from. As we mentioned, the dealer has the hand placement on the table, which is the same each time, and they release the ball in line with their previous result, which in this case is number 32. So what I'm going to do is just write down the number 32 on the whiteboard. So we've got number 32. Let's say the next result went to, let's say number 2. Okay, so it's going to go here. Now what's happening is the dealer tracker has taken the first result. This is the result that they spun the ball from, and that has gone to number 2, and it's calculated the distance, which is obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pockets clockwise. So all I'm going to do is draw a little line down like this, and the result went to number 2. So 32 went to 2, and the distance between 32 and 2 was 5 clockwise. Now you can see on the tool number 27 is highlighted. The reason number 27 is highlighted is the previous result was number 2, and now the next result it's predicting is going to be number 27, because 27 is 5 pockets clockwise from the new number that they're spinning from, which is number 2. Let's say that it doesn't land on number 27. Let's say in this case it lands on number 11. So if we submit number 11 into the calculator, and let's draw another line down from number 2 went to 11. Now if we work out the distance between number 2, which is here, and 11, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pockets. So if we write down 8 pockets clockwise, you can now see that the number that they're going to spin the ball from again is number 11. And you can see that the calculation is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pockets clockwise, which was the very first result it tracked. And also if we track the distance from 11 to 33, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pockets. So there you go. We've got the 5 pockets clockwise and also 8 pockets clockwise. So it's got those two measurements. So I hope this makes sense to you. It's basically measuring the distance from where the dealer's spinning the ball from to the new location or the new result. And then it's keeping that measurement in its memory, and it's then showing you the predicted outcome for the next spin based on the new result that they're spinning the ball from, which in this case is number 11. Now, this is the dealer tracker one direction. If I open up the dealer tracker, the standard dealer tracker, this then measures exactly the same calculations as this, but with 2
sets of data because they're going to be spinning the ball clockwise, and then on the next spin they're going to spin the ball counterclockwise, and then it goes back to clockwise and counterclockwise. So again, let's take a look at this. I'll get rid of the data from the board. And let's make this nice and simple. So let's say the first result was number 32. Now you're going to see on the screen here, 32 going to spin right. Okay, now this is making out that the ball is going to be spinning clockwise or right around the table. So basically when it's looking at this, it's going to create a measurement from number 32 to the new location. So let's just go next door to that. So we're going to go from 32 to 15. Okay, and that's going to be clockwise. So if we submit 15, nothing's going to highlight on the wheel yet because the previous data was for the right-hand spin, so when it's going to go clockwise. Now we're looking at the dealer's left-hand spin or the counterclockwise spin, but it's still going to be measuring it from that previous result, which is number 15. So let's say we go 2 pockets to the left of number 15. So in this case, it would be 1, 2. That would be number 4. So now it's going to highlight 1 pocket clockwise because that's the right-hand spin or the clockwise spin that it's showing you the data for. So in this case, the dealer is going to spin the ball from number 4, and it's predicting that the result will be 21 because on the previous result it was 32 and that went to 15, which was 1 pocket clockwise. Now let's say number 21 goes 5 pockets to the left, number 4, that's where the dealer's spinning the ball from. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say it goes to number 34. Now what's going to happen is it's going to show you from number 34 2 pockets to the left because that was the calculation from the second spin, which was from number 15, which went to number 4, which as you can see here, 15 to 4 is 2 pockets clockwise. And now it's showing you, because they're spinning the ball from 34, that it's going to go 2 pockets clockwise. So in essence, the standard dealer tracker is recording 2 sets of data, and the dealer tracker 1 direction is for the single spin directions, and that will update on every spin. Whereas, I mean, this one will update on every spin, but it's collecting 2 sets of data. I know there's a few people that was confused by this, but that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Now that you understand how these calculations are made, you can be confident that the highlighted numbers that you see on the dealer tracker are 100% accurate predictions based on that dealer's spin history. Now, this does not mean that you should blindly place bets on the highlighted numbers, as the dealers may not have a signature. The tracker is simply showing you the dealer's results based on the measurements from their previous results. Now, if those results do start grouping together consistently, there is a very good chance that they do hold a dealer's signature that you can then take advantage of. In the next module, we will take an in-depth look at the dealer tracker, the settings, best practices, and live gameplay. Understanding neighbour bets is crucial when tracking dealers. You see, these bets allow players to select specific sections on the racetrack and then place their bets accordingly in relation to the roulette wheel. Online casinos offer a range of options for neighbouring bets, typically starting from 0, which would cover a single number, to 9, which would then cover 19 numbers. Now, a simple way to understand this is if you selected 4 from the options, this means that you would be placing a bet on the number that you click on, plus 4 numbers either side of your selection, which would total 9 numbers. Adjusting the spread or coverage of these bets can be extremely useful when betting on a dealer's signature. Inside bets are bets that are placed on specific numbers or groups of numbers on the roulette wheel. There are different types of inside bets, including straight bets by placing a bet on a single number. A straight bet pays out at 35 to 1. Split bets is where you place a bet on 2 adjacent numbers. These adjacent numbers can be vertical or horizontal, and they pay out at 17 to 1. Street bets is where you bet on 3 numbers in a row and they pay out at 11 to 1. Corner bets is where you place a bet on 4 numbers that share a corner, and they pay out at 8 to 1. And finally, line bets, also known as double street bets, is where you cover 6 numbers in 2 adjacent rows, and that will pay you out at 5 to 1. Outside bets are a popular type of bet in roulette, offering players a simple way to cover the board. They involve betting on the outcome of a group of numbers or characteristics, such as reds, blacks, odds, evens, highs, lows, and dozens. One common type of outside bet is called an even money bet, where players can wager on either red or black, odds or evens, or low numbers 1 through 18, or high numbers 19 through 36. These bets pay out at 1 to 1 odds. Another outside bet option is the dozens bet, where players can choose to bet on the first dozen, second dozen, or third dozen numbers on the wheel. This type of bet pays out at 2 to 1 odds. Additionally, there are column bets, segmented into 12 numbers per column. They also have a payout at 2 to 1 odds. Overall, outside bets provide a simpler way for beginners to play roulette, but offer no advantages when tracking dealers.
I'm going to show you how to find and identify a dealer's signature so that you know the optimal areas to place your bets and win at roulette. Before we begin, I would like to explain exactly what a dealer's signature is and how we can use it to our advantage. A dealer's signature occurs when the dealer is exhibiting consistency with their spins, causing the ball to land in a particular area of the roulette wheel. When a dealer spins the ball, there are a couple of factors that we need to evaluate. The speed and consistency that they spin both the ball and the roulette wheel, and where they release the ball from. You see, when you find a consistent dealer and measure the distance from where they spin the ball from to where the ball lands, and then display those results on a roulette wheel, if that dealer is exhibiting a signature, you will clearly see that most of the results are grouped together. Here's a quick tutorial on how the dealer tracker works. We will then watch some live gameplay showing you our process on tracking dealers, identifying signatures, and our top tips on what you should be looking out for. The dealer tracker measures the distance from where the ball was spun from to where the ball lands. In the example that you can see on the screen, there are 2 results recorded. The first result was number 20, and the result after went to number 9. The calculator measures that distance, and as you can see on the screen, 20 to number 9 is 3 numbers clockwise. The calculator then predicts that the next result would be number 29, as that's 3 numbers away from number 9, which is a current number. Depending on how many numbers you decide to track, the dealer tracker will keep a full log of all of the results in its memory, and then it will display the results in the graphs below. We have 2 versions of the dealer tracker within roulette calculators. The dealer tracker standard is where the dealer alternates the ball from clockwise to anti-clockwise. There's also the dealer tracker one direction for the dealers that spin the ball in the same direction each time. When using the standard dealer tracker, you can adjust the spin direction, but this should only ever be done after the first result has been recorded. The second setting gives you the option to choose how many spins you would like to track in that particular direction. This is useful for different strategies when using the dealer tracker. When using the dealer tracker, we look for dealers who show high levels of consistency by either grouping results together or showing hot numbers. As you can see in the graph, some highlighted numbers are a darker shade of blue. This means that that area has been landed on more than once. If you look at number 9, just above the highlighted section it says 3, and on number 20 you can see it says 2. This means that that particular area of the board has been landed on that number of times. When we use the dealer tracker, we're looking for dealers that show high levels of consistency. It's best to avoid dealers who show no consistency, like in the graph below. As you can see, the results are very spaced out, and no results have been hit more than once. There are so many different strategies when using the dealer tracker, and the best way to fully understand how they work is to watch live gameplay. Our favourite strategy with the dealer tracker is to bet on 51.4% of the table. To do this, we use a neighbouring bet of 9. This means we're covering 19 numbers out of 37. Ideally, we only play with dealers whose spin history enables us to cover 100% of their previous spins. Technically, our odds of winning are still only 51.4%. However, the dealer has already shown us from their history that they are favouring the area that we're placing our bets. Imagine watching someone bowl 10 strikes in a row. You would predict that their next result would be another strike. It's not guaranteed, but the probability is there. Now, you may have heard the expression that a roulette table has no memory. This is true, but we're not betting on the table. We are betting on the dealer who is exhibiting a consistent trend. As we're covering 51.4% of the table, we should win half of our bets placed. However, when we take into the account the dealer's history and are only ever betting with those dealers who show a clear sign of consistency, we win much more often than we lose. And when you're flat betting, meaning that you're not changing the betting amount, you only need to marginally win more than you lose to make profit. Let's take a look at the dealer tracker in action and how we decipher between dealers with a signature and the dealers that do not have a signature. The safest method is to only track new dealers as they arrive at the table. This ensures that you're not tracking the results of a previous dealer, rendering your data useless. That being said, we do typically track the results from the main roulette lobby to save time. When we discover a pattern that we like, we open the table and continue to monitor that dealer to make sure that they're following the same pattern as what the dealer tracker is showing us. How's it going, people? We're doing another One Direction session on Japanese roulette. So I'm just going to log this table. So that's gone number 8. As mentioned before, the best practice is to start logging a dealer in real time as soon as a casino rotates in a new dealer. This ensures that the data collected is 100% and also gives you a much longer session with that particular dealer. In this demonstration, we are entering in spin results from the roulette lobby, which is not advised unless you know the dealer rotation times. We begin tracking dealers' spins by entering in their results into the calculator from their oldest to newest results. And that's gone to 28. I've done quite well on Japanese roulette in the past, so let's see how well this one does anyway. That's gone to number 34, and then 34 went to number 7. So it's a little bit round the corner from where I'd like to see it. It's still in the same vicinity though, so that's pretty good. That's gone to number 36, which is bang on, that's right in the middle there. And that's gone to number 28, which is brilliant. That's right on the money there. And 28 has gone to 20, not so good, a little bit round the corner there. And that's gone to 35, which is again just round the corner a little bit there. 23, that's really good, that's in the vicinity. So let's open the table up. I know the next number was number 2, which is looking pretty good. That's in that area as well. And that's gone to 22, which is perfect. That's actually another double up. And then that one went to 0, which is right next to that group. So what I'm going to do is, because I've logged this table without looking, so basically I've just been entering in the existing numbers, I'm going to watch this result and hope that it lands in that area. And that should give me, where's it going to, number 9. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's right in there. So normally I would do this at another spin, but you know what, I'm just going to go straight in. My balance 220. I'm going to go straight in, and I'm going to ignore the 0 and the 26 because they're kind of outside of that area. Now I do find when I find a dealer with a really good signature that they typically have like this grouping up here, and if it misses, it typically groups up in another area, which you can see there, 0 and 26. And that's usually a sign of a very good signature as well. Where's this one gone to? That's gone to number 11, which is perfect, right in the middle there. So 108. I'm doing $3 per number in this session. So I'm just going to go straight on sort of 0 there and just do another $3 per number. like this. But yeah, as I was saying, you typically see a nice grouping like this, and if it misses, it kind of shoots on a little bit, but then forms like another grouping, which you can kind of see up there. And to me, that's usually a good sign of a signature, but we're just focusing on the majority in this instance. So is that going? That's looking good. That's gone to number 21, so perfect. So we like that. So yeah, you can clearly see a really nice grouping there. So let's just chuck a bet on here again. Yeah, it's looking really nice, this one. It's got a fairly good spin. I do like to keep an eye on the dealer as well. I find it a bit more difficult focusing on the dealer, how fast they're spinning, and talking to the camera as well. So it's where's that one go? That's gone to number 11. So as I said, look, you can see it has gone to that area where it does go past it. So that isn't phasing me too much. I'm still going to focus on this big area down here just by 0. So I'll chuck the neighbours on 32. And again, do a $3 one. I'm not doing any progression. And see what she does. Hopefully she sticks it. I'm putting a couple on number 1 just because she's hit that one twice. And if it does fly past, you have always got the chance of hitting that number again. Well, I want to see it land around 0. Number 12 will do. We have that one covered. So it's looking good. Okay, so hopefully that one where it just flung past was just kind of an odd one. You see there, she's had 3 of them in that section, but I will put a couple on 21 again, just in case. Yeah, she's looking pretty good so far. Where's that one going to? That's looking good. Yeah, number 10, so that's gone right in that section. Yeah, again, balance is already at 363. I'm going to take it to 200. No, sorry, 200 profit. So try and get another win. Let's see, on 19 is looking good. So you can see now we've got 8 results that we're covering, and we're ignoring that number 9. But as I mentioned, that is a clear sign when you get them grouping in a second area, but not so much. That's it's usually a good sign of a dealer signature. So let's see that land before 0. See, that's kind of pinged back. And again, it's gone to number 14, which is close to that number 9. So keep an eye on it. I think I will carry on with the bet. Typically what I like to do is if I miss 2 in a row, then I'll stop betting and just double check that dealer's following that particular trend.
If you lose 2 bets in a row, stop what you're doing and analyse the table. If the dealer has changed what they're doing and you don't, you will be betting in the wrong area consistently, especially if that dealer holds a strong signature.
But yeah, her spins are looking really good. She picks it up, she spins it within 1 or 2 numbers from where she picks it up. So that's pretty good. That's gone to number 8. Yeah, that's a good win. So you can see here we got a couple of double ups as well, which is quite nice in the area that we're betting, and then obviously there's others there as well. So that's holding fire. I thought she was getting ready for a dealer change then, but I'm mistaken. So around 0. That's looking good. On 0. There we go. Bang it. So I need we've got it there. $408. So I've hit the target, which is quite nice. I'm going to watch it for another spin. I just want to see if she kind of carries on with that trend. Yeah, and as I always mention, short sessions are the best. You get in there, get your profit, get out. managed to double the money really quickly. It's only been sort of seven minutes or so.
It's a good practice to play short sessions. Firstly, you will be a lot more focused, and secondly, you'll be more likely to stay under the radar. You have to understand that the casinos are consistently monitoring its players. If your win ratio is much higher than your loss ratio, chances are they will look at how you're playing and you risk the dealer being signalled to change how they spin the ball.
How's it going, people? Ed Clark back from Roulette Calculators using the dealer tracker, and I'm going to track this table, roulette, top right hand corner.
Our main goal is to find consistency. When a dealer is switching between clockwise and anti-clockwise spins, there is more chance that they will lose consistency. Not only does a single direction table offer more consistency, it is also faster to track a dealer as it's only calculating one set of data.
Let's see if we can find a pattern. So number 9 has gone to number 16. That's gone to number 13, which is pretty good. That's close together. And then that's gone to number 28, which is a little bit around the corner from my liking. That went to number 24, which is good. That's right in the money there. 16, not so good. It's kind of making this a little bit scattered. Same with number 1. That's gone to 27, which is a double up. Then went to number 5. Again, it's starting to spread out. 24 is another double up. And that's gone to 31. Yeah, so looking at this table, look how scattered it is. It's all over the place. So, you know what, I'm going to refresh the calculator. And let's try Arabic roulette. Let's give that one a try. Number 22. That went to number 19. Went to 14. That's 9. Number 33. 25 is a double up. It's looking very scattered there at the moment. That's gone to 19. Then to 26, which is another double up. It's gone to 10, again spreading it a little bit there. 28. It's not looking that good. 22. So actually 22 is a triple up. You know what? So that's made number 20 a triple up there. So I'm going to have a look at the table just to see if she lands around that area, around number 20, 36. So that's gone to 23, so that's like nowhere near. It's kind of in between the two, but I have played with this dealer before, and yeah, she hasn't. When I was playing before, she wasn't very consistent. I've tracked her a few times, and I didn't find much of a signature with her. I will watch it for another spin or two just to see. So I really want to see it land between 36 and 26 to kind of see if if she has got a pattern going on. And that's looking okay, actually. That's gone to 0. So chuck that in. Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit scattered. I have tracked this dealer before, as I mentioned a few times, and I didn't really find a signature with her. But look, between number 5 and 12, this section is looking good. But that could just be a coincidence, that could just be lady luck. I'm going to see if the ball lands nicely and it's in between those two numbers. I might give her a try. If it doesn't land in between them, I'm just going to leave, because it is fairly scattered. And she has let me down in the past. Yeah, it's gone to number 17, so that's completely the opposite side there. So I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to back out this table, refresh the dealer tracker. And let's try Japanese roulette. We did really well on that on the last session. I'm just going to start entering in the numbers. The last session we did, we made like $200 profit very, very quickly. I think it only took about 7 minutes or so. Let me just enter in these numbers. 16. That's number 2, which isn't good. To 30 is not too bad. Double up. 24, that's okay. And then 27, it's the opposite side. It's not looking good. If you have a look at that, it's really, really spaced out. So let's refresh the calc. And let's try Turk Roulette. I haven't played on this one before. I'm just going to start entering in these numbers. 25 to 25. It's just Have a look. Okay, this isn't looking too bad, to be honest. Although 30 wasn't that good. A little bit of a grouping there. Then that's completely gone to the opposite side. No. That 32, it's just way too scattered on this one. Like, it's all over the table. So let me try another table. In fact, let's try this Venezia. I've not tried this one before, so let me just check it out. I'll just start entering in as numbers. See if we can find any patterns. Okay, this isn't actually looking too bad. Okay, that's not what I wanted to see. Yeah, this is looking good actually. Yeah, definitely worth a look on this table here. So let's say open it up and have a look. You can see there 35, 3, 26, 0, 15, 19, very close together. I do want to watch him actually, because I'm not sure if this is a multi-direction table or a single direction. So that's gone to number 8, which isn't that good, to be honest. You can see there the group between sort of 14 and 2 is looking good. I just want to see which direction he spins the ball. If he alternates it, I'll have to enter in the numbers again. And yeah, it looks like it's a multi-direction table, which isn't ideal. Let's just log the numbers again, because even obviously it's a single direction, they've been congregating quite nicely. So I just want to just double check to see if they're falling nicely. You know, normally if they're grouped together on a single direction spin, the multi-direction, they could be even better, or one side could be better, the other could be worse. Obviously you can see this one's a little bit spaced out. This particular direction is looking good. So this one's looking really nice. Apart from that, 23 spaced it a little bit. Just keep firing through these. That's number 3. So yeah, this particular spin here is looking pretty good. That's gone to number 4 as well, which is in that area. However, this particular direction, I mean, it's not looking too bad, but the other direction is looking a lot better. So I'm just going to watch it for a few spins and see. And also, it's good to show you the gameplay that I do with a multi-direction spin as well. I do prefer single direction tables. Now, he held on to that maybe 4 or 5 numbers past where he picked it up from. And that's on his right spin. On the calculator, I've got it, it's saying the opposite, but that's okay. So number 1, that's a double up. But yeah, this one's looking okay. A few little gaps in between. Let's just watch and see if he carries on with the trend. And that's important as well. You can always find a trend, but it's you know, if they carry on, yeah, he released that again about 3 or 4 numbers past where he picked it up from. Yeah, finding a trend's good. Obviously, when you're doing the multi-direction table, I like to try and take the spin count up to 10 or close to 10 in each direction. Like I say, it takes a bit longer, but that's looking good. That's gone to number 10 again, which is now a double up. But yeah, when you're doing the single direction thing, it is very quick to log a dealer. Multi-direction takes twice as long because obviously you've got 2 sets of data. Well, let's see if he carries on with this. Yeah, it's about five numbers past where he spun that one from. Where's that gone to? 22. So that's not looking good. That's kind of the opposite side of where I wanted it to land. Let's have a look on this one, because this one's looking really nice. Between 24 and 0. Look at this area here. Just very nice. We've got 8 results at the moment. Obviously it's his left spin. So you want to see it land around 0 just after. And again, it was about 4 or 5 numbers after where he picked it up from where he released the ball. See that land? Yeah, I mean, that's really good. At number 20, that's actually next to that double up on number 1 there. So that's looking pretty tidy. This other spin here, I'm not sure about. It's not looking that good. His other spin is looking really good. And sometimes you find that one dealer, they're more comfortable. They get into more of a rhythm spinning in one particular direction. And on the other spin, they're not. So that's why I do prefer single direction tables. I will give this dealer a go. What I'll do is a $1 per number. Not on this particular spin, on the opposite spin. Let's give it a go. Yeah, I mean, I can cover all of those numbers. His last 9 results, which is looking good. So let's see what he does on this particular spin direction. And yeah, I mean, he's very consistent. He does always spin it maybe 3 or 4 numbers after where he picks it up from. So I see this land around 0 or just before. Let's go. Number 6. So yeah, we got that. Number 6. But yeah, this side's not looking too good. I mean, it's fairly grouped, but not enough for me to place a bet. I've been looking between sort of number 10 and 0. But the other spin that he's doing just seems to be very, very consistent. And yeah, you can see he kind of panics a little bit more when he's spinning around that particular direction there. Yeah, I mean, he did hit it. He landed on number 29, which is next to that 18 and 7 there. But this, I believe, is where the money is. Between 33 and 15. So let me cover. I'm covering the 1 past the 33 side, just because you've got the 33 1, a double up on 14 and on 31 as well. So there's a lot more grouping that side. So that's where I've kind of put the overlap. So I'm covering number 16 as well. And we'll see that land just after 0. Number 22, perfect. Right in the middle there. Yeah, I'm still not convinced on this side. It's just a little bit too scattered for my liking on this particular direction. See, he kind of panics. He really whips it up when he spins on that direction. What's this? Congratulations, my $5 instant bonus. Yeah, no, go away. So it's gone to 15. So I mean, it is in the area. It's just this is beautiful. Between 7 and 27. Let's just hit that one again. Yeah, very consistent spin. I mean, it's very a sort of sharp jab when he does a spin, but he does it every time, which is looking good. So number 27, that's right on the end there. So that is definitely a win. So 100% success rate so far. And you can see here on this spin it is looking good. Between 5 and 28 it is looking good. But 25 and 32, just those odd ones that have jumped out. I feel a lot more confident on the opposite spin, but we'll keep watching this one. Bounced around, but it is in that area again. So number 24. Yeah, but this side's beautiful. I mean, I got a double up either side. Let's just chuck that bet on. Yeah, cover up to 29. So still doing $1 per number. I just I don't really trust the multi-direction table as much as I do a single direction. I feel like the dealers that have been spinning the same direction over and over have a bit more consistency going on there. But that's perfect. Again, number 5, right in that area. So it's a very, very consistent dealer for a multi-direction jobby. See if he carries on with this one. So, I mean, he has been nailing it between 22 and 19 there. Unfortunately, it's a dealer change, which sucks, but it is what it is. 22. So yeah, he did land in there. You know, I was getting tempted to actually start doing there, but that was 100% success rate. Pretty good dealer, but unfortunately they've had a change. But look at that signature there. That's really, really nice. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like it, subscribe. My balance is 481. I'm going to exit out of this bad boy and head back to the network. But thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, please bet smart, guys.
It's important to remain focused at all times when tracking dealers. If you have a bad streak and can feel yourself getting frustrated, it might be time to take a break. The worst thing you can do is to lose focus and start playing with emotions. This is a road to disaster, and you risk the chance of making hasty decisions to try and recoup your losses.
How's it going, guys? Ed Clark back from Roulette Calculators. Just about to track a new dealer. So there's a dealer change now. And,
if you know there's going to be a dealer change, it's a smart idea to stop betting. In our experience, the dealer's final spins are not as consistent. This is most likely due to the dealer being anxious to get off the table and go for their break.
And I thought I'd start recording, but looks like she's doing one more spin, so I'm going to refresh the calculator and wait for her to finish. But here we go. So whatever number this lands on, I will input into the calculator because that's where the new dealer is going to be spinning the ball from. So let's see where this bad boy goes. Okay, so that's number 15. So what I'll do, I'll enter number 15 because I know that this new dealer is going to spin the ball from number 15. I think she's just going to clean the ball for a little bit. And I've had a few sessions with this dealer before, and I don't know why my internet's playing up, but yeah, I've had a few sessions with this dealer before, and yeah, she's done quite well in the past. So it's quite good catching her right from the get-go, from the beginning of a session. And let's see if she can sort of develop and grow a pattern before we start betting. We're on Arabic roulette and it's a single direction table. So let's see what she does. So that's gone to number 13. So now the calculator will highlight number 33, so it's showing us where the calculator predicts the next result will go to. I don't always take the first sort of 4 or 5 results as gospel unless it's really hammering next to each other. I like to see at least 8 or 9 results to give me a good understanding, a good feeling of what that particular dealer is doing. So when you log in a dealer, don't don't just start betting as soon as you see anything highlighted. You need to make sure that they've got a signature. I mean, that's brilliant. 33 is the number highlighted, and it's gone to number 33. Again, don't take that as gospel. You want to watch that dealer for a few more spins. I mean, don't get me wrong, if it lands on number 28 again now, I'll probably be inclined to start betting around that area. But I like to get several spins under my belt first. And I do like this dealer. She always spins the ball very uniform. I mean, she puts her hand down and then she just kind of jabs back a little bit, but always from the same area. We'll see that land around. It stopped and catapulted back, which you can see there, but it was heading towards it. It hit 0. But now you can see very, very separated areas of the board there. Number 24 and 3. So let's watch some more spins and see what we can do. Yeah, it is nice to catch a dealer just on a dealer change, so you can log the dealer and find out what they're doing, and it gives you a bit more of a session with them. So that's gone to 23, which is very close to that double up, which was to 24, which is nice. That's what the side I prefer it to see land on, because if you remember the previous spin, it was heading to that area, but then it kind of hit the riffle and pinged back. But this result that kind of fell and landed nicely has landed close to that previous double up. So again, I want to see it land between sort of 20 and 9, in that sort of vicinity. But only the roulette gods will let me know. And again, I mean, that stopped nicely. It was at 35, so it's a little bit further away than I wanted. Yes, I want to continue using the site. Hate those pop-ups. Always like, do you want to keep using? Yes. It's only because I'm tracking a dealer and I haven't put a bet on for a while. You can see there between sort of 11 and 4, that's the area that I'm hoping she's going to keep building, because we got 4 results in that vicinity. And again, very, very, very accurate spin every time. She always does the same speed, releases it from the same area, and the only thing that she does very slightly is the speed of the wheel, but that's beautiful. Number 2, so it's right next to that double up. Really nice to see. See there, 1, 8, 30 and 36. And that's why I like to log, I like to log 10 spins, to be honest. But when you see ones that either get cut short or go a little bit further than the group, that's kind of my base mark for where I do the neighbours of 19 numbers. Obviously, if I just do a neighbours of 5 on number 30, I'll probably miss quite a few. But then I suppose you have to weigh up what you want. And you can see that one, that pinged to number 14. But you can see that, again, that's close to that number 1. So I'm starting to form the little group there now. My slow connection, switch back. I hate this internet there. I don't know why. I've got really, really fast internet, but it keeps switching. Let's see where she goes. I want to see it land between 28 and 25. I mean, I could cover between 28 to 36, I think I should be able to cover that, or be 1 short. Apologise for the thing, it's gone very pixely. That's gone to 27, so yeah, I mean, you can really see she is building half of the table up. And yeah, I won't be able to cover all of those. But yeah, it's definitely grouping. So you can see here I can kind of cover 26 to 10. And so yeah, I can cover all of them, only just. Yeah, because we're covering 19 numbers, aren't we? So again, we want to see it land after 0. That looks good. So that's gone to number 20. So it's in that half of the wheel. So as you can see, I've got 9 spins that I've logged now. So it is looking really good. So I think I'm going to try and make a bet here. And I'm covering end to end. So from number 7 to 13, I'm doing $3 per number, which is a $57 bet. Oh, now it's saying slow connection. Sorry guys, really do apologize about the internet here. I don't know. I've got a very fast connection, but I think it's a casino. Right, where's that going? That's gone to number 34, which is good. That is in that area, so that's given us our first win. So carry on with the bet. 35 to 8. Yeah, I do like this strategy where we're covering half the board, because if you think about it, it's essentially a 50-50 bet. Anyway, you know, it's a 50-50 bet anyway. So 50% of the time you should hit it. But when you're watching, look at that, another win there, 24. When you're taking into account what the dealer is doing and their history, it's very clear to me that this particular dealer is favouring one side of this wheel, and that kind of makes my confidence a lot better on where we're placing these bets. So it's kind of like a 50-50 bet, but with insight, and to me that's what the dealer tracker is all about. And not every dealer has a signature, so you have to keep tracking them until you find the ones like this. I've tracked this one before, and as I mentioned earlier, she does seem to have a very, very good signature. And again, like number 18, she's just smashing that half of the board. And when you've got that insight, you can take advantage of it. It doesn't mean you're guaranteed to win, don't get me wrong, but what I'm saying is it makes more sense to bet on where the dealer is favouring to just randomly betting on reds and blacks. And yeah, very, very uniform spin. Every time she's very consistent. See that land before 0. Oh, yep, number 19, perfect. A very sort of fast spin there. Slow connection again. I got full Wi-Fi. It's showing me 1 bar. But I mean, look at this for a particular signature. Absolutely beautiful. $715. Really, really, really nice signature there. I'm going to watch. I'm pretty much happy here. I'm going to watch the dealer for some more spins, just to show you. Because I always have my target. I've made a good $200 very, very quickly. But yeah, I just want to see if she carries on with that trend as well. Looks like that's good. That's gone to number 10. So yeah, perfectly in that area. See that looking really nice. Now we'll stay on the table. I'm going to watch a whole bunch of spins just to see when this particular trend ends. When the trend ends, I like that. But you can see she's very, very, very consistent, this dealer. And yeah, a lot of people wonder why I wouldn't be carrying on betting when I see a dealer like this. And my short answer is, well, don't get too greedy. Try and stay under the radar. If you're just winning every single spin, then the dealer's well, not the dealer, the pit boss is going to know. That's another win, by the way, if I was doing it. But the floor manager and the pit boss, they're going to know something's up. Like, why is this guy winning 100% of the time? And also, you do lose focus. You know, if she starts changing her signature, and I'm like, no, she's got a really strong signature, and I don't move with the times, then I could get in a lot of trouble. Just going to keep watching. Where's that one gone to? Can't see it. Number 13. So yeah, I mean, it's right in that area, probably just outside. In fact, no, they've kind of grouped together. I would still be covering that one. Yeah, you can see there between 24 and 3. It is a bit of a shorter thing, but definitely congregated. It's really a perfect signature from a dealer. So if you think, I mean, I could carry on betting, but I do like to have short sessions. I do like to get a couple $100, and I think I maybe, don't know what I made, maybe a 300 on this session actually. I was doing a sizable bets. I don't remember what I started with. I carried on from the last session, but yeah, again, that looks like it's perfectly in that area, number 7. So with that said, I mean, this is a very strong signature, a strong dealer. I'm going to leave it there, but I hope you enjoyed this session. Take care, guys. Always, please bet smart. The calculators are tools. It doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to win, but to me, it really does make sense to be tracking dealers, finding the ones that are super consistent, and only playing with those dealers. If you don't find those dealers, don't bet. It just doesn't make sense to gamble when you can find dealers who have a solid signature like this. And no one can argue with me that this dealer, really strong signature, number 34, right in the middle again. So anyway, with that said, take care, guys. Please bet smart, and I will see you on the next video.
You should always be watching how the dealer spins both the ball and the wheel, as well as a position from where they release the ball. You will often find during a large winning streak that the dealer often looks away and is clearly being signalled by the floor manager. When you see this happen, make sure you stop betting. Chances are the dealer will immediately change how they spin the ball.
Let's take a look at the settings for the dealer tracker and the dealer tracker One Direction. Simply start off by heading to roulettecalculators.com, and in the menu you're going to see a couple of different options. We've got the EU calculators and the USA calculators. The only difference between the US and the EU is the US focuses on a double zero table and the EU is a single zero table. So we're going to start off by clicking on the dealer tracker, and that's going to be tracking spins in multiple directions. So this is when the dealer alternates the spins between clockwise and counterclockwise spins. Now, to start off, you want to be tracking the dealer from the result that they're going to spin the ball from. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean their spin. This could be the final spin of the previous dealer, because we know that dealers always spin the ball in line with the previous result. So let's say the previous result was number 20. So number 20 is going to be the area that the dealer is going to spin the ball from. The first option that you see is ball going to spin clockwise or right. Now, you can adjust this. This is just personal preference if you want to make sure that the dealer consistently alternates between clockwise and counterclockwise spins. So in this case, it says going to spin clockwise. Let's say you notice that the dealer is spinning from number 20 and they're spinning the ball counterclockwise. So they're going to spin the ball left around the wheel. You can simply click on that and change that to left, okay? Now you should only do this really on the very first spin. If you change this mid-session, then all of the data that you're going to be looking at is going to be invalid, because that's going to change the direction. So this is just there if you want to keep track on the dealer's spin direction. But as I mentioned, it should only be done on the very first spin, because that will then change the settings. So it's going to be spinning left and then right. Okay. And again, it's just for personal preference. I typically don't worry about setting this, because whatever direction they're spinning the ball, the wheel will be spinning the opposite direction. So I just say to myself, okay, the ball's not spinning left, but the wheel is. So yeah, I mean, it's just personal preference if you want to keep track. So if that's the case, they're going to spin the ball left. Say the result goes to number 19. You're going to see that now the ball going to spin clockwise right. See, it's switched over. So this is basically the initial setting that you can do to establish the correct direction based on the first spin. Okay, so I mean that's basically if you're really anal about evaluating everything. Now calculate the last 10 spins in this direction. You can click on this and select how many spins you would like the tool to track. So if we just set that to 3 and then we enter in some dummy data, what's going to happen is it's only going to be tracking the previous 3 spins, the most recent 3 spins. So once we've got enough data in there, on this selection here, you'll see that there's 3 numbers highlighted. Now, if I continue submitting data, all of the spin history past the most recent 3 spins won't be showing on the board. It's just going to be highlighting the last 3 spins in that direction. And if you want to change that to 4, you can do that mid-game. So maybe you just want to see the most 4 recent spins, and then as you continue entering in the data, you'll see it's just going to select 4 results on the table. I recommend leaving or setting that to 10. I think 10 is a good number for establishing a dealer's signature, but it's complete personal preference, and that's only there really for different types of strategies. Okay, sometimes you want to be tracking a large number of spins, but in certain strategies it's nice just to track the most recent 4 spins if you're doing some kind of martingale progression. And I feel like if you're just tracking the most recent 4 spins and you want to cover at least 75% of them, then you would only ever make your bets if you can cover 3 out of the 4 results. It's personal preference, but that's essentially the settings for this. It's a very, very simple tool. And yeah, all you're going to do is select information based on the dealer's spin history. And then what you've got here, it's obviously, if you have made a mistake, there is an option to undo the last entry there. So say we clicked on 14 by mistake, all you have to do is click undo last entry, and then you're going to find that that will remove 14 from there, and then you can select the correct number. So say it's meant to be 15, that will update accordingly. So that's pretty much in a nutshell. You've got the total spins. It shows you how many spins you've tracked. It shows you how many spins you've tracked in that particular direction. So the spin count, this is the left or the counterclockwise spins. You've got 6 results there tracked. And if we select number 19, you're going to see that the clockwise spin results there, we've got 6 tracked as well. So that's essentially it. That is the Dealer Tracker multi-direction in a nutshell. Let's take a look at the Dealer Tracker one direction. It's exactly the same, but the only difference on this is it's always going to be spinning the wheel in the same direction and spinning the ball in the same direction. So it just removes that option there. And of course, it's only going to be tracking 1 set of data because there's no need for it to track 2 sets of data with the clockwise and anti-clockwise spins. So you will find when using the Dealer Tracker one direction that the data will be logged a lot faster because it's only having to collect a single set of data. So that's essentially the 2 dealer trackers in a nutshell. Very, very simple to use, and it is a perfect tool for utilizing if a dealer has a signature. Okay, let's talk about the tips, tricks, and best practices when using the dealer tracker on an online casino. Now, first of all, you might want to play this in a brick and mortar casino. That's absolutely fine. But first of all, let's talk about the preference of the device you're using. Now, if you're using a mobile device, I recommend using 2 mobile devices, one to have the trackers open and one for the gameplay. If you're trying to do both on a single mobile device, you're going to find it very difficult to navigate between the trackers and the casino, and that's probably going to result in you missing bets, because you're going to be taking time to track. I'm using a MacBook. So a desktop or a laptop is much better for using this, unless you are in a brick and mortar casino. If you're in a brick and mortar casino, which I do regularly, I have a mobile device, and what I do, I open the tracker, but I turn my brightness right down, okay, because I don't want anyone seeing what I'm doing in there. The floor manager might be seeing a roulette thing on your screen and you're entering in numbers. You've got a chance of being busted, okay? I'm not sure what would happen. They'd probably just kick you out. So yeah, I always turn my brightness right down, and I would never play at a table. I would always go to the touchscreen devices that are linked up to the tables. From there, it's very easy to track dealers as well, because you can actually see pretty much in every casino I've been into, you've got all of the touchscreen devices, and then you've got the tables on the floor laid out, and they've always got these big LED screens which shows you the dealer's previous numbers. So it's nice and easy to enter in the information, see if that dealer's got a signature. If not, track another one, and you keep doing that until you find one, and then you go to that particular table on the touchscreen device, and then you can just play. Okay, it's pretty simple. But let's have a look at the online devices, okay, online casinos, should I say. So what you're going to do, you're going to open up your preferred casino, and also you're going to open up roulette calculators. Now, what I typically do in this scenario is I will grab the window and I will pop that out, okay? So now we've got two windows. Then I will minimize, or I'll just grab the side of the tracker and I will shrink that down. And then if I go to a table on roulette, let's have a look at, I don't know, let's just go to one of these tables. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to wait for that to load. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to shrink that screen down as well, because I want to have both of them on the screen at the same time. So what I'm going to do is shrink that down about there. And first thing you're going to want to do, I can see that this table is already laggy. I'm using my mobile connection, and it's not the best for this demonstration, but it's going to be okay. So first of all, I'm going to establish, is the dealer alternating the spins, or is the dealer spinning the ball in the same direction each time? So at the moment, I can see that the wheel is spinning clockwise. So on his next spin, if he changes, which he is, I would then open the standard dealer tracker. If the dealer was spinning in the same direction each time, then I would open the dealer tracker one direction. So in this case, I would just go to the menu and I would go to EU calculators, because it's a single zero, and I would click on the dealer tracker. So that's obviously going to be tracking the ball in both directions. Now, here's a little tip. Once you've got the window open, on a Mac, you can press Command and then the minus key, and that's going to shrink down the screen. Obviously, if you press Command and the plus key, that will maximize it like this. But I'm just going to shrink it down just so it's big enough for me to see quite clearly. And then what I can do, I can then grab this window and I can line that up pretty nicely. And as you can see here, I've got a nice view of the table and a nice view of the tracker. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to enter in number 2 into the calculator, because I can see that that was the last result. In fact, let's scrap that. Let's refresh that, because the new result now is number 1. I just want to give you a heads up on what's going on here. Okay, let me just minimize that down a bit. So I'm going to click on number 1. And that's going to be the result. Now I can see that the dealer is spinning the ball right. Okay, so you can see that this is actually correct. Number 1 going to spin the ball right. This is my first spin. So if he was spinning the ball left, I would then change this to going to spin the ball left. But in this case, it is right. And as I mentioned on the previous thing, you should only ever change this on the very first spin. Okay, don't change it halfway through, or the data that you've collected will be wrong. Okay, so he's spinning it in the correct direction. Then I can see number 34, that's come in. So I would enter in 34. Now, the best practice is to do what I'm doing now, and that is to track the dealer from the get-go. In a lot of my videos, I do skip back because I know the time that the dealer has been switched in and out. So I could then start tracking from, say, number 17 here, and then I could go 10, 15, 24, and I could be entering this information. But the best practice is to track the dealer as you get to the table from the current results, just so that you're not risking entering in information from the previous dealer, which could render all of the data useless. But use this time when you're tracking the dealer from the get-go. So I can see 34 went to number 14. this gives me the perfect opportunity to check where the dealer spins the ball from. So I'm looking at his hand placement now, which I can see is here, okay? So it's in between this diamond and this diamond here, and I can see that that is his hand placement when he's spinning the ball clockwise. And then on the next spin, I will see the opposite direction. So his hand placement will probably be up here somewhere. So if I enter in number 35, I'm then going to be looking at the dealer's hand placement here. And also I'm going to see if he releases the ball in line with the previous result. Now the previous result is number 35. I want to see where he spins the ball from. Is it in line with that number? So it is, and I can see his hand placement was here. Okay, so now I've got the information. I know where his hand placements are. Okay, so he spins the ball from around here, and on the opposite it was around here. And I can see that on his counterclockwise spin, he did release the ball in line with the previous result, which was number 35. Now it's gone to number 1. I want to double check to make sure he is releasing the ball in line with that particular result. So I'm going to watch him again. And this is good. If you are tracking a dealer from the get-go, you do get time to evaluate this. So let's have a look. So it should be in between here. Yep, perfect. And I wasn't actually looking to see if he was releasing the ball in line with the previous result. I believe he was. He seems like a confident dealer. And that's essentially it. That is my tips for using the dealer tracker. You can see that's gone to number 10, which is over here. So I can already see that this dealer isn't very consistent. Okay, I can see the gaps there. Now this is the opposite spin, so I'll be looking for the result to land somewhere in between 25 and 35 in this area here. Let's have a look at his spin. It should be around here, and yeah, that was in line with number 10, I believe. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to have a look, see if this dealer is showing consistency. Now please keep in mind, guys, that you shouldn't play with a dealer if they don't have consistency. Don't just look at these highlighted spots and think, okay, that's where the ball's going to land. It isn't. You need to find a dealer who is showing consistency. And you can see on both directions, this particular dealer isn't. The results are very scattered. Okay, that's gone to number 14. So if you look on the next result, I can see here his previous results, and this is based on measurements, and the dealer's just leaving now. I can see that the previous results are scattered. So what I would do in this situation is refresh the tool. Now I know this dealer is going to spin the ball from number 14, so I'm going to enter that number in as my first result, okay? And I'm going to evaluate her. Where's her hand placement? Right down here, so you can see much further than the previous dealer. Now I want to make sure that she releases the ball in that section each time. Now I can see that the ball is currently spinning right. That's okay. We've got the dealer tracker set to going to spin the ball right. I don't need to change this setting. But as I mentioned, I would only ever play if, you know, I'd only ever change that on my first spin. So I've just updated because it was trying to kick me out the table. And I'm going to be looking at this dealer's next spin result. Okay, so that went to number 32. So I'd enter in number 32. I can minimize that down again. There we go. So she's spinning the ball left. I didn't have a chance to catch where she is spinning the ball from that time because I was updating the calculator. But you have plenty of time to do this when you're tracking a dealer from the get-go. Okay, that's gone to number 22. So again, I'm going to watch this this spin again, where she's going to spin the ball clockwise, and I already have the basis of where she spun the ball from in the previous spin. It was very, very far forward. She really does stretch around the table. So let's have a quick look. Oh, it's lagging out, this thing, because I'm using my mobile. But it should be right around here. There we go. Perfect. So she's spinning the ball in a consistent place. So that's essentially it, guys. That is my best practices for using this tool. Try and track a dealer from the get-go, and also use that time to identify the dealer's consistency. Are they spinning both the ball and the wheel at a consistent speed? Are they releasing the ball from a consistent place from the base of the roulette wheel, the base of it? And also, are they releasing the ball in line with the previous results? And you can do all of that whilst tracking the spins, particularly on a multi-direction table, because you really want to be tracking about 15 to 18 spins to get the data. Obviously, if you track 10 spins, you're going to get 5 results on the clockwise spins and 5 results on the counterclockwise spins. On a dealer tracker one direction, or the one direction tables, you get the data a lot faster, but use that time to analyze the dealer. Make sure you analyze the dealers, even if they're showing consistency. So I can see number 4 went to 28 in this particular. So upon reviewing this video whilst editing it, I realized that I said 4 went to 28. However, I didn't actually input number 4 into the tracker, but 4 was highlighted. So that was actually the prediction of where the ball was going to land, and it did actually land on number 4. I've replicated this on the tracker again, so I've entered in 14, 32 and 22, which was the results, 14, 32, 22, and as you can see here in the results, we've got 14, 32, 22. Number 4 was the next result, so I should have actually inputted that into the tool here. So that was a perfect example of a dealer's signature. So if I select number 4, we can see that the next result is saying number 7, which is up here. And if we actually look at the result after number 4, it went to 28. And as you can see, 28 is right next to number 7. So I'm really annoyed with myself that I wasn't paying attention, because it does turn out that this dealer did have a signature, and I should have continued with the video to illustrate exactly what was happening. However, I was talking to the camera and I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, back to the video. I just thought I'd point that out. The instance, which was I mean, it wasn't too far away, but it's still a bit far away from my liking. I like seeing it when they hammer the same numbers over and over. But you can see my internet's going a bit slow now. But I feel like I've got the information across how to track the dealers, what to do with your windows, and yeah, if you're in a situation where you're using a mobile device, to try and use 2 devices, so you can have one open for the tools and one open for the casino. Obviously, if you're in a live casino, that's pretty good as well, just using your mobile device. Anyway, I hope you find the best practices videos useful. This can be applied for the area key as well, and pretty much every tool on the network. Anyway, take care, and I'll see you in the next lesson.
Hello and welcome to the Getting Started guide for the Area Key Calculator from roulettecalculators.com. My name's Ed Clark, and I'll be taking you step by step on how the area key works, the settings, what to be looking for in a dealer and what to avoid. I'll also be talking a little bit about different betting styles, progressive betting or flat betting. And also we're really going to be talking about setting limits, setting targets, sticking to them, and ultimately patience. So I invite you to join me on this journey that will hopefully take your roulette game to the next level. So how does the area key work? Well, the mechanics is fairly simple. What the calculator is doing is tracking a dealer and seeing how often they spin the ball back to the area that they're spinning it from. That information then gets logged into a couple of graphs below for our reference. And what we can do with that information is identify if there's any particular patterns, or what we like to call a dealer's signature, that we can take advantage of. So let's take a look at the settings and functions within the area key. Now, the first thing you're going to come across is the big green button at the top left there, which says undo last entry. Now, when you're tracking a live dealer, essentially what you're doing is submitting their previous spin results, their spin history, into the calculator, and you may accidentally enter the wrong number by mistake. And if that happens, there's no need to panic. You can simply click undo last entry, and that's going to remove the last entry from its log. Now, the next setting you're going to come across is the amount of numbers to track. Now, what this is doing is telling the calculator how many numbers you would like it to track, which then reflects in the graphs below, giving you insight on how that dealer is performing. Now, in this example, it's currently set to 19. So let's talk about that quickly. The last spin result was number 21. So you can see there in the graph, number 21 is a lighter shade of green, and that's how the area key works. It's always looking at the results surrounding the last result. So the last result was number 21. We're tracking 19 numbers. So that's going to highlight 19 numbers around 21. So in this case, number 21 itself, 9 numbers to the left, and 9 numbers to the right. Now, as you're tracking lots of numbers, that's updating the graphs below, showing you exactly how that dealer is performing. Now, if you want to toggle between different numbers, you can simply use this section at the bottom there, and say you click on 11, that's going to update the graphs instantly and show you the graph results based on 11 numbers. But if you want to actually change how it's working, you would use the option there, amount of numbers to track. Now, the next result, start betting at a positive depth of. Now, we haven't covered depth yet. We're going to be talking about that later on in this video. But to give you a brief explanation, the depth count increases every time it lands on an unhighlighted number. And as soon as it lands on a highlighted number, the depth count returns to 0. So let's have a look at that setting. Start betting at a positive depth of. If we set that to a depth of 2, that means that the calculator isn't going to highlight until it reaches a depth of 2, meaning it's landed on the unhighlighted section twice. And as soon as that happens, the calculator will highlight, alerting you that that's when you should be making your bet. Now, the next settings we're not really going to cover in this section, because that basically just talks about people that want to use a progressive betting system, which we're going to cover in a future video. Now, I know that was a lot of information I've just thrown at you, so we're going to cover it step by step so you fully understand exactly how the area key works. Now, as we explained before, the area key is always looking at how often the ball goes back to the area that it was just spun from. So let's say the last result was number 17, as you can see in the graph there. Let's say we're tracking 9 numbers. As you can see in the graph, it's looking at the numbers surrounding the previous result, which in this case was number 17. So 9 numbers would include 17 itself, 4 numbers to the left and 4 numbers to the right. Now let's say it was 19 numbers. You can see the spread increases. So we're looking at number 17, 9 numbers to the left and 9 numbers to the right. So let's look at 2 different scenarios. If the next result after number 17 lands on an unhighlighted number, which in this case number 24, the depth count will increase by 1. Now, if it lands on a highlighted number instead, so let's say it lands on number 11, what happens is the depth count returns to 0 and the result then gets logged into all of the graphs below. Let's watch a quick video so you can watch this happening in real time. Now, as I explained before, the area key is always looking at the numbers tracked surrounding the previous result. In this case, the previous result is number 23, so it's highlighting the numbers around that area. The depth count is currently at 0, so if the next result entered was in the unhighlighted zone, say number 22, once we enter that into the calculator, the depth count increases by 1. So what happens if another number is submitted that's in the unhighlighted zone, say number 34? Once that's number submitted, the depth count increases again to 2. Now, in this example, we're going to put the next result in the highlighted zone, number 21. And when we submit that into the calculator, that depth returns to 0, and the result then gets logged into the graphs below. So you can see the depth count, the to depth has increased by 1. And in the next graph, depth of wins, it's showing you the last win result went to a depth of 2. So what do these graphs actually mean? Well, if we look at the depth count, this is giving you all of the results that you've recorded and showing you what depths that they went to. So if we look at the first result there, we've got 6 instances, meaning 6 results that went to a depth of 0. And that means that we've had 6 results that went straight to the highlighted section. If we look at the next one, depth of 1, and we've got 2 results there. That means we've got 2 results out of all of the ones that we've logged, 2 results that actually missed the highlighted section and then went back to the highlighted section, meaning it was at a depth of 1. And then, of course, we've got the next one, which is showing 1. That means we've got 1 instance, 1 result that actually missed the highlighted section twice before landing on it. The depth of wins graph is a really useful graph because it shows you what the dealer is doing in real time and identifies any patterns that that dealer may have. As you can see here, it's showing you each individual result. The last win, the last result, it says 3. That means it missed that highlighted section 3 times before landing on the highlighted section, giving it a depth of 3. The next 2 results below that mean it went to the highlighted section straight away, giving it a 0 depth. And then the one below that means it missed the highlighted section once and then landed on it, giving it a depth of 1. And the one below that means it missed the highlighted section, so it went to the unhighlighted section 5 times before going to the highlighted section. Now this is really good for identifying dealer patterns or a dealer signature, and looking at this graph here, this is a dealer that I would recommend that you don't play with because there's no levels of consistency there. You can see it's all over the place. There's high values and there's low values. When we're looking for a dealer, we're looking for a dealer that's hitting either just mainly 0s and 1s, or the opposite, where it'll be a depth of 5, then a depth of 4, then a depth of 8, back to back. And we will cover that in a future video. I hope this video has helped you understand how the area key works. Now make sure you watch our next video, because we're going to be discussing what to be looking for in a dealer whilst using this calculator and what to avoid. When using the tools from Roulette calculators, you want to make sure that the dealer that you're tracking shows good levels of consistency. Now the first thing that you want to check is that the dealer is spinning the ball from the same area of the wheel each time. Typically the dealer will spin the ball from the area it last landed. For example, if the last number was 19, the dealer will pick up the ball and spin it from number 19 or within 1 or 2 pockets of that number. Now this is exactly what we're looking for. In this example, you can see that the dealer is not spinning the ball from a consistent area, meaning that they're spinning it from one area and then they're changing where they're releasing the ball from. Now it's important that you avoid dealers like this, as they will never have a true dealer's signature. Sometimes you will find a dealer who is showing high levels of consistency with their spins, but it is important that you continue to monitor how the dealer spins the ball throughout the session, because they can suddenly change. Check out this dealer, for example. So I was in the middle of a big winning streak, and as you can see, she was releasing the ball from the correct area each time. And all of a sudden she changed and didn't release the ball until about half a revolution past her normal area. Notice in this how she holds onto the ball for about half a revolution. Now she continued to do this for several spins, and I believe due to my winning streak, the pit boss had signalled the dealer to change her technique. When this happens, it's a clear signal that you should leave that table as they're watching you. This is why it's also a good practice to set small targets and to change tables frequently in order to stay under the radar. So let's say you found a dealer that's spinning the ball from the correct area. The next thing you should look for is the speed in which they're spinning the ball. Are the majority of their spins roughly the same speed, or do they vary? You will also want to monitor how fast that they spin the wheel. So to recap, number 1, is the dealer spinning the ball from the same area each time? Number 2, is the dealer spinning the ball at a consistent speed? And number 3, is the dealer spinning the wheel at a consistent speed also? Now if the answers are yes, this means that you found a consistent dealer, but this does not mean that they have a dealer's signature, which is why we use the tools from Roulette calculators to identify dealer patterns. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure that you watch the next episode, as we will be discussing how to identify a dealer's signature. Hello and welcome to the Area Key Getting Started guide for identifying a dealer's signature. Now this video continues from the last videos in this series, and if you haven't already watched them yet, I recommend that you head over to the Area Key Getting Started playlist and start at the beginning. Now in our last video we learned how to identify if a dealer is being consistent, meaning a dealer who spins the ball from the correct area and who also spins the ball and the wheel at a consistent speed. Now, as I mentioned in my last video, a consistent dealer does not mean that they have a dealer's signature, but you will not find a dealer with a signature if they are not being consistent. So let me explain a little bit about what a dealer's signature actually is. So a dealer's signature is essentially a pattern that emerges from certain dealers who show consistency in their spins. So it's more common to find a dealer's signature in seasoned dealers who have been dealing roulette for many years. And this is simply because those dealers are unconsciously competent. Now, if you think about it, when you first learn to drive a car, everything is new and it requires a lot of mental energy to perform the task. But over the years, it becomes second nature. You don't have to consciously think how to change gear, you just do it. And it's the same for seasoned roulette dealers. They can simply switch off and get into their own rhythm. So let's take a look at a few examples of a dealer's signature so that you can fully understand what to be looking for when using the tools from roulettecalculators.com. Okay, so starting off the examples, let's look at what would be an ideal scenario, something that you should be looking for. And as you can see here, we've got both graphs on the table there. With top graph is showing you the depth count. That means how many times a particular depth. So it's showing you the amount of results a particular depth has come out. So you can see a 0 depth is showing 4. That means that 4 results were a 0 depth. And that means it's gone from the highlighted section to the highlighted section. So that's the area key, what we're looking for. The reverse area key is if it's missing the highlighted section. Okay, so the second graph that you can see is depth of wins. Now that's showing you the wins in real time. So you can see that the last result was 0. That means it landed on the highlighted section. Before that, 0. And actually the one there where you can see number 3, that was the first entry logged. So that is actually the starting point, the marker, which is technically a 0 as well. So in this case, he's had 4 results and all of them have gone to a depth of 0, meaning the highlighted section. So it looks like he's gone straight in with the bet on the highlighted section. Now, as both myself and Sam, whose video we're watching, states, it's a good idea to get at least 10 results. So in this depth of win section, you want to see 10 results, and that's going to give you a much better idea if that dealer has a particular signature. But Sam's just jumped straight on here, and you can see that's only after 4 results really, including the last win. So he's gone on the highlighted section on this one. So he's covering the number 14 and 9 to the left and 9 to the right using the area key. Now, I remember watching this, and I believe that he gets this incorrect. So you can see number 27, which is actually in the unhighlighted section. So that's actually gone against what everything's saying, because it's had 4 results showing that it's gone to the highlighted section. Now, all of a sudden, it's landed on the unhighlighted section. So in this case, Sam does what you should do as well, and that's evaluate the table. So don't make any bets now. Just make sure that that is actually a dealer signature and that was an unlucky spin, okay, because it's the majority that we're trying to cover. So what Sam will do now is watch this result instead of placing a bet, just so we can just double check to make sure that this dealer has got a signature before he continues playing. So he wants to see it land in that highlighted section, because that's what the data on the graphs is saying to us, is this dealer is favoring the highlighted section of the wheel, the standard area key. So he wants to see it land after 0, and as you can see, it's going along and it's gone to number 17, which is nicely in that highlighted section. So it's up to you if you want to watch again just to make sure, or if you want to place your bet. Now, in this case, I believe Sam does place a bet. He's going straight on number 17, which you can see there, and he's dropping his stake down. So again, if you are playing higher stakes, it's a good idea to drop the stakes down if you see some sort of a change in the pattern that the dealer is showing you. So in this case, he's dropped the stake down to £2 per number. And again, he really wants to see it land on that highlighted section. So that's where he's covering all of those green highlighted numbers. And we'll just watch to see if that comes in. And as you can see, it's gone to number 13, which is really nicely in that side. So this dealer does show that she's really favoring that highlighted section of the table. Now, this video has already been played in one of my gameplay sessions, but really I want to be showing you what to be looking for in this graph. Now, I'm going to skip through a little bit like this. I know it was a very successful session for Sam, so I just wanted to really show you what the graph is saying. Now you can see he's gone from 500 up to 900, and also he's I believe he's had 100% success rate on this. So there you go. You can see that first result there went to a depth of 1. That's the one that we watched when it went to number 22, which was a miss. And then, of course, Sam watched it again and it landed on the highlighted, which means that depth of 1 comes out and then it moves on to the next result, which is 0, meaning it's gone to the highlighted section again, and then you can see it's just stayed on that highlighted section. So this is an ideal scenario for when using the area key. You want to see a table like this with lots and lots of zeros with the occasional ones. Now that's the ideal scenario for the area key. I'm just going to skip through to the end of the session so we can actually see the actual, there you go, you can see a dealer changes happening just there. So let's have a look at the graph, and as you can see there, he's had just one instance where it went to the unhighlighted section, and then the rest have all been on that highlighted section, which you can see reflects in the depth count at the top. It's saying a depth of 0 10 times, a depth of 1, it says 2, but we minus 1 because that first entry showed the depth of 1. So that basically means that we've got 11 scenarios where it's gone to a depth of 0, meaning the highlighted section, and only one scenario when it's gone to the unhighlighted section. So that's a solid dealer's signature. If you find a dealer like that, you're in good hands. So, but also keep an eye on them because they do change. I found dealers that have had a very good solid signature, and then they changed it from, instead of hitting the highlighted section, they was hitting the unhighlighted, but consistent as well. So keep an eye on, and the idea behind the calculators, it's just showing you the dealer's history. So do make sure that you keep analyzing that table and make sure that you find a solid signature. And if you don't, it's time to leave the table. But we're going to look at another example now, where we're looking at the opposite. This was the area key, which is the highlighted section. But if the dealer is still being consistent but landing on the opposite side, that would then mean it's the reverse area key, meaning the unhighlighted section. So I'm going to find a video and we can watch that and have a look at the graphs together in that so you can see the flip side on this particular strategy. Hi and welcome back. This is a great example of using the reverse area key and identifying it. Now I'm just going to play the video. This is another clip from Sam, and you can see there on the depth of wins count, the first entry that he's actually logged is showing a depth of 4. Now again, we minus 1 off of that because the first result is our marker point, so we always have to minus the depth just 1 off of the first entry. So currently that is actually saying a depth of 3, and that was a result. So he's going to carry on logging this table now, but he's already seeing that the dealer is favoring that unhighlighted section of the board because the number has gone a lot higher. Obviously we're looking for either zeros with the occasional ones, or we're looking for high numbers, which is then going to show a higher depth. Now you can see there it's currently on a depth of 1 now. That means it's missed that highlighted section yet again, which is good news for us. She seems to be favoring that unhighlighted section. So let's see what the next result brings out. And what I'll do is just skip through the video a little bit, so I won't make you watch the whole thing. But you can see now it's saying a depth of 2 there, which it means again it's missed that highlighted section, and that's showing us a depth of 2. Skip through a little bit. Now it's at a depth of 3, so you can see again she's missed that highlighted section. So she really is favoring the unhighlighted section, which is up there. Sorry, everything's in reverse. It's crazy. But yeah, so this is exactly what you're looking for when using the reverse area key. Now you have to pay attention to this section here where it says the depth count, because it will not update the graph until the highlighted section comes in. So once it lands on the highlighted section, whatever result is in there gets transferred into the graphs below. So if you're at a table and you're tracking one and you're seeing that the graph isn't updating, make sure that you check out this depth, because if that's saying like a depth of 7 or a depth of 8, then you know that dealer's just hammering that unhighlighted section, which could be a really good opportunity for you. But if you're not seeing the graph updating, you might miss out on that opportunity. So make sure you keep an eye on that depth count there. So we're going to scroll through a little bit more, and now you can see it's gone to a depth of 0. So it means that that highlighted section has finally come out, and that means it's been transferred into these graphs here. So you can see that the first result, obviously we minus 1, was a depth of 3, and then the second result is showing a depth of 3 as well. So that means it's missed that highlighted section 3 times and then landed on the highlighted section. And then the next result has missed the highlighted section again 3 times and then landed on that highlighted section. So in this case, you would want to be putting your neighboring bets on the unhighlighted section, and you'll get the loss every time the number clears out. So you get 3 wins and then you'd have a loss, and then you would have got 3 wins and then you would have had a loss if you're just doing flat betting. So let's go through and have a little look, see if it carries on. So it looks like it's gone to a depth of 1 again. So as I can show you there, it's not updating the graph yet because it's currently on a depth of 1. Scroll through a bit more, and that's gone to a depth of 2. So again, it's missed that highlighted section. A little bit further. Now that highlighted section's come out. So that means it's gone to the unhighlighted section, and then to the highlighted section. So if you was making a flat betting, you would have got 2 wins and 1 loss in that particular scenario. So let's carry on and see if she carries on with this. So again, she's gone to a depth of 1. She's hit that unhighlighted section. That's gone to, well, you can see there it's showing the result from before. So a depth of 3, depth of 3, depth of 2. And it looks like, yeah, it went to a depth of 2 there, and then it looks like the highlighted sections come out again. So it would have been the same scenario. You've got a win, then a loss if you were flat betting. So let's carry on. So you can see there, depth of 3, 3, 2, 2. So this is good. We do like to see the numbers high. You'd like to see like a depth of 7, a depth of 8, a depth of 3, then a depth of like 5. You want to see those numbers really high. And then basically that's going to be like the previous example where it's just big strings of 0s and 1s, but on the flip side. So instead of it being the highlighted section, it will be the unhighlighted section. So let's scroll through and see if she carries on with that. Currently a depth of 1, you can see that in the graph there. And where did that went to a depth of 2 again, and then to a 0. So yeah, she's really sticking to this pattern of unhighlighted, unhighlighted, then highlighted. And then she's repeating that pattern over and over. So it does look like a pretty solid signature there. So you can see there, depth of 3, then 2, 2, 2. Now what you don't want to see is sort of gaps in between where it'll be a depth of 0, then a depth of 2, then a 0, then a depth of 3, then a 0, and then a 0. So that's very inconsistent. With this one, you can see there's no gaps in between these. It's high number, high number, high number, high number, high number, and there's no real gaps in between, meaning it hasn't gone to the highlighted and then back to the highlighted that will break that up. So let's have a look if we scroll through. So she currently depth of 0, so it's gone to a depth of 1, then a depth of 2 again, and then a depth of 3. Okay, so you can see there currently on a depth of 3. So again, that means it's missed the highlighted section 3 times in a row, and then I believe it hits the highlighted section on this go, which then pushes it to the highlighted. But this is where Sam ended the video, but you can see number 7 comes in, and you can see that the highlighted section was number 7. So that would have transferred that 3 into the graph below. But as you can see in the balance there, Sam went from £100 up to 200 and odd. And that's pretty much his goal. He likes to double his money on the videos. So the end of the video is there, but you can see that that is a great signature there. If we just go back, obviously we've got that depth of 3 that will go above, but you can see there, depth of 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3. So really good example of when to use the reverse area key, meaning you're betting on the unhighlighted section. Now we're going to have a look at another scenario now, which is what we don't want to find, which is a inconsistent dealer, which basically they can be consistent, but they don't have a dealer signature. So the graph is all over the place, like I was explaining before. So let's take a look at that right now. So looking at this example here, you may be tempted to want to do the reverse area key, where you would be betting on the unhighlighted area of the table. However, for me, it's too inconsistent, purely because there's such variation in the numbers. Like we've got 6, 3s, 1s, and there's a bunch of 0s thrown into the mix. So it is tempting to jump on the reverse area key for this. However, it's much better to hold out and find a dealer that is either chucking out those 0s, like big blocks of 0s with the occasional 1 thrown in, or big blocks of high numbers, your 3s, 4s, and then no gaps in between, no 0s that break that up. So I really hope this video has helped you understand what to be looking for when we're looking for a dealer's signature. And the best thing that you can do is literally just play around with the calculator and track live dealers without making any bets to start with, so you can really become familiar with, is this dealer consistent? Do they have a signature or don't they? And that's the only way that you're really going to learn and become comfortable using these tools. So by now you should have a good understanding of how the tools from Roulette calculators work and how they can identify a dealer's signature. Now there are countless betting systems out there, and all of which have their merits and their downfalls. For example, a progressive betting system like the martingale system can get you to your target faster. However, if you're faced with a losing streak, this can be detrimental and wipe out your entire balance very quickly. On the other hand, a flat betting system, which means that you do not change your betting stake throughout the session, is in my opinion the safest option, but does require that you find a dealer with a good signature that will result in far more wins than losses. So in this video, we're going to be covering the most popular betting strategies and the situations that they would be best applied. So first of all, let's talk about flat betting. Now, as I mentioned before, flat betting is the safest option. And if you look at the graph to my left, you can see that this dealer is hitting the highlighted numbers way more than the unhighlighted numbers. In this example, if we were betting 1 unit per number, it would equate to 13 wins and 4 losses, giving us a total profit of 145 units. Using a negative progressive betting system like the martingale, where you would double your stake every time you hit a losing number, you would eliminate those losses and would have made a total profit of 213 units. However, you must be careful when using the martingale system, as doubling your bet can get out of hand very, very quickly. Even if you have an unlimited bank balance, roulette tables have a maximum betting limit, which can stop you in your tracks. Now, I do believe there is a place for the martingale system when you find a dealer with a strong signature. If the dealer is primarily hitting zeros and ones, like in my graph to the left, you can get away with doing a single progression bet, meaning you would only ever double your stake once. However, this does require self-control. You can't afford to let emotions take over, or you risk chasing a loss and get sucked into a losing streak. A positive progressive betting system, like the reverse martingale system, is a different strategy altogether. With this system, you increase your bet when you win, and the idea behind this is to get a win streak to capitalize on an increasing betting stake. For example, if you bet 1 unit per number and you win, you would increase the next bet to 2 units per number, and if that wins, you would increase your bet to 4 units per number. Obviously, you must decide when to cash out, but the nice thing about this system is even if you lose during a streak, you only really lose your first bet when covering 18 numbers. So in this example, I was logging a dealer and she was all over the place. She was hitting the highlighted section quite a bit, but then suddenly just changed and hit a big block of 7 in a row in the unhighlighted section, as you can see there. So that basically means she missed the highlighted section 7 times in a row. So I decided to give this dealer a go. I should have been a bit more patient myself. However, it did pay off because I saw that she was hitting big blocks there, and I decided to do the positive progression. And as you can see there, I've put 1 unit per number, and the idea is to get a 3-win streak so I can basically double the bet each time 3 times in a row. So as you can see, we won the first one, and now I've increased the next bet on the unhighlighted section to 2 units per number, and that's £2 per number, as was playing in the UK table. So the idea is just to get 3 wins in a row and then leave the table. And if you find a dealer that's hitting big blocks of zeros, then you want to be betting on the highlighted section, or if the dealer is hitting big blocks of high numbers like depth of 4, and then the next one's a depth of 5, and the next one's a depth of 3, you can get away with using a progressive betting system, positive progressive betting system, where you increase. So as you can see, that landed on 0. That was fairly lucky, but that did give us a win, and that gave us a £72 win there. So now what we're doing is the third bet in the series, where we're going to increase that to 4 units per number. Now, I know it seems quite scary because now we're doing a £76 bet. However, we're really playing with the winnings that we've made from the previous 2 bets. So if we do lose this, we're only really losing the initial bet that we made, which was £19. plus the extra number, because we're covering more than 18 numbers, we're covering 19. So we'd lose £1 extra on the second bet and £2 extra on the third bet. So it's only going to be about a £21 loss. However, in this case, it landed on number 14, which gave us a win there. And that gave us a £144 win. So there is a place for the positive progression, like the reverse martingale system, and you really do need to find a dealer that is hitting these big blocks. So you can see that was a depth of 7, and currently now it's at a depth of 3. I did stop betting in this example, but I do like to watch the dealer for another spin or two after, just to see if they carry on hitting that unhighlighted section or if they change it back to the highlighted. And I believe in this scenario it landed on number 4, which was again in that unhighlighted section. So I could have got away with doing £8 per number, but you need to set a cutoff point. If not, you will eventually lose. It's inevitable. So I hope you enjoy this. And that's basically just an example of how we use the reverse martingale, which is a positive progression system. Nobody can tell you how to make your bets. However, the best practice, in my opinion, is to only play with those dealers who are showing great patterns where you would win overall simply by flat betting. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, please bet smart.
When playing roulette, it is recommended to choose a table that has a significant number of players. If you do happen to find yourself at an empty or very quiet table, please play with caution, especially if you have been consistently winning. In situations like this, the gaming provider may have a better chance of deciphering your betting strategy and then potentially signaling the dealer about altering their spinning technique. You see, having numerous players around provides a sense of anonymity as your betting patterns blend in with those of others. Your strategy becomes less noticeable with the multitude of wagers being placed by different individuals. This camouflage can help prevent any suspicion or detection from occurring. In contrast, an empty or quiet table draws attention towards specific players since there are so few participants. Dealers might unconsciously pay closer attention to these individuals as they stand out among the limited crowd. Consequently, any consistent winning streaks may raise suspicions and invite unwanted scrutiny. By opting for well-populated roulette tables, you increase your odds of remaining unnoticed by casino personnel and avoid becoming target of unwarranted interferences or intervention. Remember, blending in with others is an effective way to safeguard your betting strategy from being discovered too easily. So the next time you join a roulette table, choose wisely and try to join a busy table that can enhance your chances of success whilst maintaining your privacy. When playing roulette, it is crucial to keep your sessions short in order to avoid detection by gaming providers and also maintain focus. If you spend too much time at the table, the gaming provider may become aware of your betting strategy and then alert the dealer, asking them to alter their spinning technique, and this will in turn decrease your chances of winning. By keeping your sessions brief, you reduce the likelihood of being noticed. Furthermore, shorter sessions enable you to remain more attentive and make better decisions instead of hasty ones that could lead to losses. Staying focused on the game is essential for detecting dealer patterns or noticing when a dealer changes their technique. Extended periods of continuous play can lead to mental exhaustion and impaired judgment. Taking regular breaks between sessions allows you to refresh your mind, recharge your energy levels, and return with greater clarity and focus. In the last module, we discussed the benefits of using multiple accounts on online casinos to avoid suspicion. Now, after extensive research, this is my go-to casino, which stands out for several reasons. First and foremost, this platform boasts an extensive collection of roulette tables, providing me countless opportunities for tracking dealers and identifying signatures. What makes it even more appealing is that they have a vast selection of low-stake tables, and this allows me to experiment with various strategies without breaking the bank. One of the main advantages that I found with this particular casino is their relaxed approach towards address verification. You see, unlike most other platforms, you don't need to enter in your address upon sign up, and to this day they have never requested proof of address from me during a withdrawal, which not only allows me to set up multiple accounts, but it also means that I can use a VPN to play in restricted countries. Please keep in mind that this is my personal experience with this particular casino, which has been serving me well in the past, but in no way do I take responsibility for your experience on this platform. I am simply including the tutorials in this module on how I personally set up accounts with this particular platform, as this is one of the questions that I get asked most frequently. Using multiple casino accounts when playing roulette is a strategic move that can greatly enhance your winning potential. As you consistently come out on top, gaming providers are bound to take notice of your win ratio. This attention raises the risk of dealers receiving signals to alter their spinning techniques during your gameplay, potentially reducing your chances of winning. In the next module, I will delve into my casino of choice and outline steps on how to create multiple accounts discreetly. You see, one key benefit of having multiple accounts is maintaining a higher level of anonymity within the casino system. You see, by spreading your gameplay across different accounts, you then minimize the chances of being associated with consistent winnings. This gives you an edge in remaining undetected so that you can rack up those profits across multiple accounts.
I receive so many emails and messages from people who live in a country that doesn't have access to an online casino. Or they can join a casino, however the selection of roulette tables is very limited. This is usually a result of the casino's license being geo-restricted by that country's policy. Now there is a way around this by using a VPN, which enables the user to create an account and play at that casino from an unrestricted location. There are a few factors though that you have to consider when doing this. Firstly, you have to find an online casino who doesn't ask you for your address when joining. Secondly, you should only ever play with cryptocurrency, as this again doesn't link back to your real location. Now you still risk the casino asking you to verify your address when you make a withdrawal, so I would suggest only ever playing with small stakes and making small withdrawals. I decided to give this a try myself by signing up to an online casino which I know doesn't ask for a location, and then I made a deposit using crypto and played a session, winning €50. I was interested to see if I could make a withdrawal with no issues. Now the only issue that I was faced with was clicking on the confirmation email, as it wasn't going into my inbox. Now after several attempts I realized that they was going into my junk mail, and once I clicked the confirmation the withdrawal was successful and in my account within 20 minutes. Using a VPN does work, and it gives you access to online casinos that you typically would not be able to join. Now I've created a full guide which is linked in the description, but please note this is simply a guide which I've tested myself, but in no way can I guarantee that you will not face any issues, so please do this at your own risk.
In the module Staying Under the Radar, we talk about playing on busy tables so that it is more difficult for the dealer to notice our betting strategy, and in turn giving them a reason to change their technique. I want you to closely watch this gameplay session to fully understand the importance of not only blending in, but to realize the importance of consistently watching the dealer. I played this session a very long time ago, and I continued betting even after the dealer drastically changed her release point. This served as a valuable lesson for me, and hopefully it will do the same for you.
24 went to 11, which again was a good hit, and 11's gone to 13. So this dealer is actually doing exactly what I'm talking about straight off the bat. So you see here, we've had quite a few zeros, and one's gone to depth of 2. So 13, that went to 23. So again, that would have been another hit there. Okay, so let's give this a try. Let's just mute her. And how do we get rid of this bad boy? Is it this one? There we go. So let's just watch this again. As I mentioned, I'm going to be my starting balance is £80.80, and I'm not going to do any sort of progression. I'm just going to be going straight in with a standard bet each time. So that's gone to 27. So again, that would have been another hit. So I'm going to give this dealer a try. We're just going to be doing the neighbours from number 27 and see what happens. So we're covering 19 numbers. Obviously, we're covering from 24 to 15. Of course, I'm going to get a few misses. I just want to see if we can find a dealer that is consistently hitting the same area of the board. This one has been. I mean, look at that block of zeros. It's usually my luck that she won't when I start betting, but let's just see what happens with this particular dealer. Okay, so that's gone to 24. So we just hit that one right on the edge there. So let's try that now on number 24. If you think about it, all of these ones here, if I was betting, that would have been some serious profit. Going there. A lot of people always want me to find out the name of the dealer. So this one's Vanessa, and I'll get a screenshot of her as well. Okay, so that one is a miss. We only just missed it though, so that's number 7. Let me just try and get a screenshot of her with the name in there. There we go. Right, so I've done that. Let's enter in number 7, and we'll just put the bet straight back on number 7 there. So that's currently at a depth of 1 with this dealer. She has gone to a depth of 2. Okay, that went to 19. So again, we just hit that one on the end. Go to number 19. I don't like seeing I'm the only person that's won. So I don't know if I'm the only person playing with this particular dealer. Did I? Yeah, I put that on 19, didn't I? Yeah, so we see that one came out at a depth of 1, but a massive block of zeros there. And that looks pretty damn good. Straight back to itself, number 19. So I'll just repeat the bet. It had a bit of a spin there, but we still hit it on number 6. So let's just chuck the bet straight on number 6 there. There's two of us have won that time. So it's a very quiet table. There's not many people actually betting on this, which I don't like. I feel like the more people that are betting, like see her hand now, she has just held that ball for ages from where she should have spun from. She's been spinning pretty much from where it landed to where it went, and on this one she waited pretty much halfway around the table. So see what happens. Unfortunately, it didn't help her. Still went to number 25. And again, it's only me that's winning on this table. I don't like that, but let's go to number 25. See if she spins it from there. Yeah, she's holding on to it for ages. Don't know why. Okay, so that one's gone way past to number 1. That's okay. We've earned a few misses. See, now she spun from number 1. So she did actually spin from the right place that time. Unfortunately, hit that 0 and sprung back. So let's carry on. Currently on a depth of 2. If you look at the block of 0s she had a depth of 2 before. Massive block of 0s. Unfortunately, I didn't bet on them. Then she had the 1 and she had 2 0s, and now she's currently on a depth of 2. Okay, so we just hit that on 18 there. And again, she's holding the ball for ages. Yeah, I'm not liking the way she's varying the spins now. Yeah, I didn't like that. I'll try another one. I just think that something's going on with her spins now. She always been. Oh, it's a dealer change. That was a very quick dealer change as well.
In the last lesson, I showed you how a dealer can have a great signature and then all of a sudden change what they're doing. This is why watching the dealer at all times is something I really want you to take on board. If you notice a dealer making eye contact with someone behind the scenes, it can mean one of two things. There is about to be a dealer change, or the floor manager is signaling the dealer to change their technique as someone is winning consistently. And they may even switch out the dealer early if this is the case. Either way, you should stop betting immediately, because in my experience, the dealer normally changes their technique. Check out these gameplay sessions where I stop betting early, even though there is a great dealer's signature. This requires a high level of self-discipline that will take your game and long-term successes to the next level.
See, in the last 10 rounds, it was the third time the result 16 red. So exactly that number is kind of proper one. And let's play the one more time. You run your chances. And good luck to you. That's a close. So on the moment, I would like to inform you about the cold numbers in the moment. It's the 5, 34, 21 red, 4 and the 10 black. The next result is here in number 34 red, high and even from the Orphan section, and exactly it's that cold number. My class to the winners and major amazing gift. You're more than welcome to prepare yourself in the next game, beyond time. And move on. That's a close we can go. Few seconds and be ready to see the next result of us. And this number is 31 black, which is the high note from the Orphan section. My confidence clearly plays silver. And it was the second time in the last 10 rounds when we had the 31 black. I hope with this one makes you a little bit more happier, and you're more than welcome to place me back here. You won, new chances. Good luck. That's in time is over. Move on. The new players, hello, welcome to the Roulette table. How is your day, guys? How is it going? And the next result is here, and that number 34 red. Please my pass will get back to that one. Still the gold result, 34 red. And since really obvious that the players from the windows. But in time again, try to push some back. Chances. And you can go down the way. That's a close. Congratulations. Next result is here, and it's the number 7 right. This one for the rules and section, first column, first dozen. And my plus to the place one. Now preparing yourself for the next game, please be on time. We're waiting. And move on. Good luck. That's a close. I wish you all the best. So, high, low, even or odd result you will be. What are you feeling? Next result is 14 round is the loading a number from the Orphan section. It changes to the place of 1 batting time, and during the next spin we'll have the closed jump. 5 seconds. Good luck. That's a close one, let's check it.
When playing roulette, money management is essential for maximising your chances of winning long term. First and foremost, it is important to set a budget before even sitting down at the roulette table. You want to decide on an amount that you're comfortable losing and stick to it. It's crucial not to exceed this limit, as that can lead to financial difficulties. Additionally, consider splitting up your bankroll into smaller betting units. This strategy helps in keeping track of your bets and prevents you from placing any large wagers impulsively. Aim to wager no more than 10% of your total bankroll on each spin, as this ensures you have enough money left for future bets if the dealer that you was tracking happens to change their pattern. Finally, always remember that even when tracking roulette dealers, there is no foolproof strategy for guaranteed winnings. Be prepared to walk away if luck isn't on your side and avoid chasing losses in hopes for making up for them. You see, by managing money wisely and staying disciplined throughout the game, you can enjoy roulette without compromising your financial stability. When playing roulette, it is crucial to keep track of your success and losses for a better understanding of your overall performance. To assist you in conveniently monitoring each session, I have prepared a detailed profit and loss spreadsheet encompassing 30 sessions. You see, by recording these results, you can effectively analyze your gameplay and identify patterns or strategies that led to winning or losing sessions. Additionally, it is highly recommended to take notes on the factors that contributed to your unsuccessful sessions. These observations will serve as valuable lessons, allowing you to learn from any mistakes made during your gameplay and avoiding repeating them in the future. Maintaining such records offers several advantages. It enables you to observe trends over time, identify which strategies are most successful for you. You see, such insights can enhance your decision-making process when placing bets in the future. Moreover, regularly reviewing your spreadsheet allows you to monitor your progress and then evaluate whether adjustments need to be made in your approach. You see, by being proactive and analysing past results, you can fine-tune your roulette tactics over time, increasing your chances of profitability. By utilising this 30-session profit and loss spreadsheet whilst playing roulette and taking meticulous notes on each session's outcome, you can gain valuable insights into your own gaming tendencies. This knowledge empowers you to make informed decisions based on prior experiences, thereby enhancing your overall performance at the roulette table. The art of tracking roulette dealers successfully relies heavily on two key qualities: patience and discipline. Now, it's crucial to understand that there will be days when finding a consistent dealer becomes a daunting task. But it's during these challenging moments that the true essence of this technique shines through. The secret lies in being selective and only playing when you discover a dealer with a distinctive signature. Without patience, you risk reverting back to mere gambling rather than placing calculated bets based on valuable insights. Maintaining a disciplined approach is vital because it allows you to resist the temptation of betting impulsively or without proper analysis. By exercising self-control and waiting for those opportune moments, you elevate your chances of making educated decisions and maximizing on profits. Discipline also involves rigorously monitoring the behaviors and patterns exhibited by different dealers over time. In your quest for success, keep in mind that tracking roulette dealers is not an overnight endeavor. It requires dedication, extensive observation, and meticulous analysis. Spend time observing various dealers in action, taking note on their unique habits and spinning consistencies. Remember that roulette is ultimately a game of chance. However, by embracing techniques like dealer tracking with patience and discipline at its core, you shift the odds into your favor. Approach each session with focus and strategy rather than relying purely on luck, empowering yourself as an astute player who makes calculated moves in pursuit of success. Our YouTube channel is a treasure trove of gameplay and roulette strategies. These strategies are designed to provide you with a competitive edge and increase your chances of success. It's worth mentioning that we continuously update our channel with new content, ensuring a constant flow of fresh and effective tactics. However, our commitment to enhancing your gameplay doesn't stop there. In addition to the strategies shared on our YouTube channel, we are developing separate courses within this platform. These comprehensive courses will dive deep into various aspects of gameplay and roulette strategies, providing detailed explanations, step-by-step guidance, and downloadable content. By taking advantage of our tracking tools, coupled with the strategies presented on our YouTube channel and upcoming courses, you'll have all of the necessary resources at your fingertips to ensure a thrilling and successful gaming experience. Congratulations on completing this course. I hope the knowledge I have presented helps you make more educated bets in your gameplay. Please take a moment to give this course a review, and as always, please bet smart.
Subscribe now.